We celebrate this wonderful achievement by raising the 2011 NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship banner.
Banner number 5 heads to the rafters for the Penn State Nittany Lions. They've won 4 in a row and 5 overall as a program. The Nittany Lions hope to continue that streak. But Kevin Hambley and the Fighting Illini are hoping to get a banner of their own. Head coach of the Fighting Illini in his 3rd season led the Illini to 2 Sweet 16 appearances during his time. Today's starting lineups are brought to you by Tachi Kara. Rachel Feldman, the defensive specialist for the Illini, takes us through.
I'm Rachel Feldman, a senior DS from Bloomington, Illinois, and here's the starting lineup for the Fighting Illini. Starting at setter, number 11, Annie Lerson. At outside, we have number 4, Colleen Ward, and also number 6, Michelle Barchi-Barch. At right side, we have number 14, Liz McMahon, also known as our pickle lover. As middle, we have number 5, Anna Dorn, and number 12, Erin E.J. Johnson. And last, we have libero, number 3, Jennifer J-Bo Beltran.
For the Nittany Lions, Russ Rose in his 33rd year at the helm for Penn State. He's one of just 3 active coaches with 1,000 career wins. For the lineups, we head to Maddie Martin for Penn State.
I'm Maddie Martin, outside hitter from Tampa, Florida for the Penn State Nittany Lions. And here's tonight's starting lineup. Setter, Micah Hancock. Outside hitter, Deja McClendon. Outside hitter, Katie Cabas. Opposite, Ariel Scott. Middle, Katie Slay. Middle, Nia Grant. And libero, Ali Longo. Go State.
A series between these two teams that goes back a long time. However, in this building, it's been in favor of Penn State. 20-1 overall. They've won 15 consecutive at Rec Hall against Illinois, not dropping a single set during that span. So a tall order for the Fighting Illini as they come into this one, hoping to break up another Nittany Lions streak. Last year, it was Illinois who ended the 65-match Big Ten winning streak by the Nittany Lions in Huff Hall. So a great series, and we expect a phenomenal match, Audrey. These two teams know what's on the line. It's the big matchup of top 10 opponents. However, they also know it's a long season, not to get too far ahead of themselves.
Right, this one is so important for both teams because it'll really set the bar as to where they are right now. Both teams are talented from top to bottom, big swing hitters on the outside, great defensive players, and these two coaches, even though they're shaking hands, it's going to be a battle.
And these two coaches know each other well. Have Kevin Hambley on the staff for the Illini for the past 8 seasons. He was an assistant before he became the head coach. The Illini undefeated at number 1, and they come to Rec Hall where you know this fan base is going to be all over them for the entire match. It's the Illini who are number 1 for the first time in program history, and these Penn State fans know it.
It's a rowdy crowd. I'll tell you what, I love Big Ten volleyball because of that right there. Look at these fans. They are in it to win it, cheering on their favorite team here, of course, the Nittany Lions.
And they're used to seeing number 1 in this building, except usually it's the Nittany Lions, not an opponent. First time Penn State has faced a number 1 team since 2007 against Nebraska.
I think these guys practice maybe as much as the Penn State team. They've got these coordinated movements here. They're looking pretty sharp.
Great scene throughout the entire Big Ten in women's volleyball. We saw it earlier this season when Penn State travels to Nebraska. Throughout the entire country, entire landscape of Big Ten volleyball, it's always a great scene. About to get underway as Ali Longo will head back to serve for the Nittany Lions. Sends it into play, and we're underway from Happy Valley. Barch to start things out for the Illini, and she gets the kill.
Yeah, Barch going high off the blocker's hands in that first attack, but a really nice pass there from Illinois' libero. Take a look at that, just wiping it off the block in the first point of this first set.
Serve-receive game will be important for both teams. Now it's Jennifer Beltran for the Fighting Illini serve. Puts it down. Back-to-back kills by the 2 stars.
Boy, the first set of this first set here goes up to Deja McClendon. It's that low set to the outside. She takes her first step as the setter is touching the ball, just explodes really well. Hitting that nice cross-court shot she loves to hit.
Difficult serve. Overpass kill from McClendon. Micah Hancock with that incredible serve sets up another Penn State point.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I think she's got one of the most aggressive serves in the conference. She starts on the left back area of the service line and then kind of curves over to the left back area.
Tough one over, and another overpass kill for Penn State.
Well, that's why the passing game is so crucial. They're getting it in the setter's box, but it's too tight to the net. You've got to be able to let your setter work with the ball, so you want to pass it about a foot off the net if you can.
Hancock was a big reason Penn State took set 5 against Northwestern on Wednesday. Inside quick set to Johnson. Good up there in the back row. Liz McMahon, the freshman, now over. Hancock dives for it, but she won't get there, and the point goes to Illinois.
Well, McMahon a little easier shot there, kind of went off her fingertips, and maybe not the most aggressive kill that she's going to get tonight. It was more of a defensive error on Penn State's side of the net rather than a spectacular McMahon kill. I'm sure we're going to see her swing a lot tougher than that one.
Now Rachel Feldman will head back to serve. The DS is for the Illini. Hancock. To Scott. Touch off the block for the Illini. Now Bush just taps it over. Hancock able to get it up. Wilson. Back to Bush. And out of reach of a diving alley Longo, and we're even at 3.
Not a really hard shot, but a well-placed shot. Good transition ball here by Illinois. You see, she sees that angle and is able to put some top spin on that ball for it to land in.
Feldman out of Normal, Illinois, one of the seniors for this Illini squad. Leader on this team, and a good serve keeping Penn State out of system. Wilson tries to bump it up, and it'll be a free ball opportunity for Penn State. Hancock goes to McClendon. She's blocked at the net by the Illini. Combination of Johnson and Lurson.
Well, McClendon has gotten a lot of sets here so far in the first set. Watch this great block reaching up and over. That ball really doesn't clear the net, so maybe it's more of a hitting error than a well blocked by Illinois.
Hitting errors were so much of a problem for Penn State against Northwestern and Wisconsin last week. They have to correct those. They need to get these wins in the middle of the grid, and a great connection there.
That's what a good pass will do. It allows you to set middle. And Micah Hancock changing it up a little bit. You know, McClendon had a little bit of a struggle there on the last play, so go to a middle hitter. Nia Grant, she comes through with a big kill.
Larson at the net, out of push, and she's blocked by Katie Cabas, the senior for Penn State.
It's so nice to see Cabas in the lineup. That 6'4" frame of hers allows her to be a formidable block on this side of the net. And look at how she reaches in. She follows the hitter's shoulders and the angle that she was hitting and seals that cross-court shot.
She was inserted into the lineup against Minnesota last Saturday for blocking purposes, according to Russ Rose. Doing the same tonight. Scott, ball sent over by Lurson again.
That's a blocking battle right now. The thing that I like about Penn State's options is that they have a lot of movement with their front row hitters. You know, Scott can play left side or right side. Cabas can hit left side or right side. So as a blocking team, you really have to track your hitters and know who's in front of you if you're a blocker.
Russ said they need to do well in the block because they don't have great back row defense. Scott goes cross court. Feldman is there. Bump set to Ward. Ward into the triple block and it's set back.
Now Ward needs to take a better, stronger approach than that. I think we'll see her do a lot better as the match goes on. But this is one of those broken plays, non-setter, touching the ball, and you got to get bigger swings on that. Go for high off the fingertips or roll shot it in and maybe block and dig for the point.
6'4", 6'2", and 6'4" from that triple block. Difficult to go over. Johnson off the slide. She's one of the best in the Big Ten on that play.
Well, she certainly is, and you see that she starts her movement as the setter is releasing the ball. The ball is set low and right to the perfect spot. And look where Lurson is on the court. She's toward the 10-foot line. That's a real difficult set to make, to put it right in that sweet spot at that middle attacker knees.
Annie Lurson in her first-year setting for the Illini. She sat out 2 seasons after transferring from Connecticut behind Hillary Hay. Now Scott will get the kill off the hands of Michelle Barsh.
Scott from the right side that time. She really looks very good from the right side, very comfortable up there.
Ariel Scott has really come on as of late in the Big Ten season. She's led this team in 4 of 5 Big Ten matches, and of course had 80 kills during that span, good for 4.2%. And a tap over. We're getting a legal attack on the Illini, so the point goes to Penn State.
Yeah, if you're a back row attacker, you have to take off behind the 10-foot line. Take a look. You can't see her feet when she takes off there, but clearly she stepped over the line. It's a back row attack violation.
So a back and forth set so far. Penn State has opened up a 2-point lead in set number 1. Cavins tries to dive for that one, but she won't get it, and the Illini are back within 1.
That's where Penn State looks a little shaky. Sometimes their backcourt defense, as you already mentioned, can be off. That time, that wasn't such a hard hit for McClendon to dig out. You know, she really needs to just calm it down, slow it down in her mind, make a good dig, and then ask for that back row attack.
Back row for McClendon. Harrison with a good up. Just, she taps it into the block. It's sent over. Dorn able to get to it. And Ward is now blocked. Katie Slay and Micah Hancock putting up a wall.
Well, I think Slay walked into Penn State's program as probably the best freshman middle blocker that I have seen. So that talent has just resurfaced here this sophomore year. She's playing very well, and again, blocking is her favorite thing to do.
And another block with this time it's Deja McClendon. Blocks key in the early going. It's been Penn State so far.
Well, an interesting serve-receive lineup for Illinois. They have all their hitters in front of the center. Penn State read that play perfectly.
Ward now over that block with the roll shot. Now Hancock to McClendon. Sent over by McMahon, but a good job to keep it alive with the Nittany Lions. Hancock now sends it over, and it's wide out of play.
Boy, this is exactly what I expected from this match. It's going to be back and forth. You know, I don't think a clear winner is going to emerge early on here. I think it's going to be a battle. Take a look at that left-handed swing by Micah Hancock. She usually executes that perfectly in the right back corner, a little wide that time.
We saw it last year between these two teams at Huff Hall. One set was dominated by the Illini, then Penn State, and over again. And that's a big reason why Illinois came out with a 5-set win. They were able to dominate set 5, and this time it's Katie Slay dominating in the middle.
Slay saying, not in my house, you don't. She just takes control of that. A great save by Illinois' defense. The one-handed pancake here. Perfect dig. And then here you see the big hit, but the bigger block there by Katie Slay to end that rally.
5.5 blocks for the Nittany Lions to just 2 for Illinois. Marsh over that block. McClendon goes down the lead and hits it over the touch of the Illini.
I'll tell you what I like. You couldn't see it there, but Allie Longo, the libero, is talking to McClendon during the rally. She's telling her where the block is and where to hit the ball. I like that communication. Telling you what, Penn State's looking very good tonight.
And you know, Russ Rose has said that communication has been lacking. It's a big reason they haven't played quite to that level. But Liz McMahon gets the back row kill.
Yeah, I don't know what you do to communicate against that. That shot that goes right in the left back corner of the court, you got to give her that one and really block and dig the majority of shots that she's going to hit. She keeps hitting that shot, you got to move your defense over.
McMahon, a freshman out of Liberty Township, Ohio, 6'6" freshman, right side hitter. Of course, she was the #3 recruit in the nation coming out of high school. The back set to Grant. Barsh is there. It's tapped up at the tape, and they'll call a lift against the Illini.
Well, I'm seeing new wrinkles in Penn State's offense. That back row slide by Nia Grant. We didn't see too much of that. Nice recovery there, and then just a heads-up play by Penn State allows them to get that point.
Hancock again with that wicked serve. 4-point advantage for Penn State. Penn trying to get that side out and take away the service from Nittany Lions. Grant, she gives it to Hancock, back to Grant, and a kill. The give and go for the Nittany Lions.
This is the improvement that Penn State fans wanted to see. They have gotten better as they've played more matches. Hancock giving the ball to Nia Grant a little bit more than what I have seen in the past, and Nia Grant delivering on every set that she has gotten.
And for the Nittany Lions, they want to see more of that. They're on top set 1, 14-9.
Being
#1 in the country, to me, just shows the growth of the Illinois program. Seeing the growth from me being a freshman all the way to a senior year, it's been amazing. And I'm so excited to see the continuous growth that this team is going to accomplish once I'm gone.
It's definitely exciting to come here. We know they're a great team with a huge tradition behind them. And we've just worked really hard this season, so we're just really excited to play them.
Go Illini!
The Illini #1 for the first time in program history, the lone remaining undefeated team in the nation as they travel into the hostile environment of Rec Hall. Wilson goes for a back row attack by Ward. Scott off that block and in play. The Illini get a point out of the break.
That's a big block. Illinois, I think that's one of their talents. They've got size in the net, very physical team. I think they're one of the teams in the conference that matches up very well with Penn State. Penn State's always been known to have strong, physical, tall players, and I look at Illinois' lineup and think, boy, head-to-head, they're looking good too.
And that's exactly what head coach Kevin Hambley said coming into this one. Penn State, a very physical team, and they needed to match that. So far, they've been able to. Now just taps it over. Longo will get the set now to Scott. Johnson on that slide. Penn State ready for it. Now McClendon. Good rally going between both teams. Feldman will get it over to Bush. Pass set over to Scott. She doesn't get it. Great up by Feldman. Free ball opportunity though for the Nittany Lions. McClendon once more. And it's out of play off the hands of Rachel Feldman. Maybe not the best decision to put a touch on it.
Yeah, Feldman had a great dig in that rally, but couldn't get that ball off of that the McClendon hit there. Watch, oh boy. She tried her hardest to keep that ball in play. Just couldn't handle it.
A 15-10 lead for the Penn State Nittany Lions over the Fighting Illini of Illinois as Maddie Martin will check into the match. Johnson, she gets it this time.
And that nice low slide. Johnson taking her first step as the setter releases the ball. Seemed to really be picking on Barsh. And serve receive there. It seems like she's being very active. All the balls seem to be coming to her. We'll see if she can maintain some good passes for her team.
Audrey, what are some of the advantages of that slide play that Aaron Johnson has?
Well, if you run it fast enough, it allows you to have some space to hit. And again, the pass has to be there because the farther the setter is off the net, the slower that play evolves. So with a good pass, you're able to run a quick slide and there'll be lots of openings.
All right, I need more of that as they're down here by 5 in set #1, 16-11 lead for Penn State. Good serve, overpass, Slade, puts it down.
I would say early in this set, I think, in my opinion, Penn State is clearly winning the serve pass game. They're serving aggressively. Illinois finding themselves in a lot of trouble in serve receive, and even when they do pass the ball up, it is taking the setter off the net slightly.
Now Ward on the left side, off the Penn State block, but still alive. Canvas will send it over. Bumped up by Johnson, free ball chance for Penn State. Scott. Ward again, over the block and out.
That's exactly what Illinois needed. Somebody to break this Penn State momentum. They were on quite a run here. Ward did the job. That's exactly what you want from your left side here, to take big swings, to get your team back into it.
They get a chance with Jackie Wolf now serving for the Illini. She's second on the team in service aces coming into this one. Key serving specialist. And she is able to get a service ace for the Illini.
It's a nice jump float that she has, and it drops just at the last minute. It's barely clearing the net. These are hard balls to pass because those floaters, they float and they move as you're trying to pass the ball. So oftentimes you have to adjust your angle of your platform at the last minute to pass a perfect ball.
We came in talking about how great Penn State has been from the service line, but the Illini have a lot of weapons back there as well, Jackie Wolf being one of them. Another good serve, keeping Penn State out of system. Canvas goes in front of the net, hitting air on the Nittany Lions.
That's a bad hitting error.
24 hitting errors for Penn State against Northwestern. Even though it was a 5-set win, you know Russ Rose was not happy with that one. That many hitting errors is always going to keep a team from playing their best. And the service error now by the Illini gives one back to Penn State. So Penn State 7 points away from taking set number 1. The Illini have not taken a set in this building since 1995. So Illinois knows they have a very tall task coming into Happy Valley.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? Let's take a look at the hitting percentage here. Penn State hitting 15%. Illinois 10%, yeah.
Longo with the second. McClendon from the back row. She can't get it over. 4 touches on Penn State.
You know, volleyball is a game of rhythm, and that time the set was a little bit too high, and Deja McClendon had already started her approach, and if the ball is set higher, you have to delay your first step. She's used to going a little bit quicker on that, so she was actually trying to tip the ball on her way down.
So now it's the Illini on a run, drawing back within 3 of Penn State. Hancock goes to Slay now. She puts it into the tape, and another 4 hits on Penn State. So now the air's coming back to cost Penn State after they jumped out early and were playing so well. Russ Rose wants to talk it over. An 18-16 lead in set number 1. More from Happy Valley in a moment. Hey, Big Ten fans, now you can get free programming alerts on your mobile phone. Be the first to know when your favorite coaches and players will appear on the Big Ten Network. Just text volleyball to 20284 or log on to btn.com/alerts. Message and data rates may apply. Deja McClendon leading the way so far for the Nittany Lions, Audrey.
Yeah, she has been solid. She's got that very aggressive look in her eye and that approach. And there you see her taking control of the net there on that overpass. She's getting involved with the block too. She looks fired up and focused and ready to take this first set from Illinois.
5 kills on 13 swings for Deja McClendon, hitting .231. Coming into this one, she had hit just 166 during Big Ten play.
Yeah, you know, her role this year is so different, and it's hard for her to get those numbers early on in the season that we saw last year. But as the team evolves and other hitters get better, I think that'll open things up for McClendon, and we'll see her hitting those spectacular hitting percentages that we were used to seeing from last year.
The Illini want to keep up their hitting percentage and get a chance here. Annie Larson now serving. Joust at the net, won by Micah Hancock.
Those battles at the net, when you win them, it means so much to your ego. I used to love these things. When you win the battles, boy, you just feel like you are the queen of the court. It's Micah Hancock there, the setter for Penn State. Nice strength.
Who's got more strength at the net? Penn State up 19-17. Ward. Penn State with a good up. Now Hancock over to McClendon. She's blocked by McMahon, and it's down.
And this is what makes Illinois so good. They have finally crept back into this set. It's really anybody's. Right now, you're seeing good blocking at the net. Again, that height and strength of Illinois' blocking game is really keeping them in this.
Now Garcia with the high tall serve. Hancock to Slay. Just tries to get off the block. Beltran with a great dive. Slay again in the middle. Illini are ready for it. McClendon just in between the 2 blockers.
Hey, when you can score on a broken play like that, it speaks volumes. You see a great back. Look at that set. She's going in the opposite direction, bumps it behind her. That was, of course,
The former setter.
none other than
Kristen Gardner,
Yes.
setter for the Nittany Lions in their national title run a year ago. She's in a DS role now, and a hitting error by the Illini. So Illinois makes a run and gets back within 1. Now Penn State, though, up 3 and 4 away from taking set number 1.
Yeah, when you're at this point of the match, you really have to eliminate the unforced errors. It's a very close set. We're just down by 1, so both teams need to really play sharp and aggressively.
Long off the line. Deja McClendon with an error for Penn State.
Yeah, but those are the errors that come back to haunt you, especially when you play the #1 team in the nation. They're not going to give you any points. They're going to make you work for your points. And Deja calling for the next set. She thinks she can do better.
So it looks as if Kevin Hamley had a discussion with the official, and they gave Illinois back that point. So it's even now at 20.
jam. A lot of people in her area as she was approaching. You see they clear out for her, and she just slams one in Illinois' backcourt. Nice job by Ace Scott.
Scott so crucial at this set against Northwestern. And another service ace from Micah Hancock. 22-20 and another timeout for Illinois. Penn State up by 2. They want to close out set number 1. More from Happy Valley in a moment. A question from the Twitter landscape, twitter.com/BTN Volleyball @CCGK51156 asks, what are the realistic NCAA expectations for the 4-time defending national champions, Audrey?
Well, you know what? I would never rule out a Russ Rose team. You know, he's going to continue to develop this team, and if his players are able to rise to his expectations, I believe they'll have a solid run in the tournament. Now, if you would have asked me in the first 2 or 3 matches that I saw Penn State play this year, I would have said, oh, I'm not quite sure. What I'm seeing tonight makes me very hopeful that this team is going to have a great run in the tournament.
And it's been the story the past 2 seasons for Penn State. They started slow in the Big Ten season, had to work in some new players, but eventually found their rhythm, and that's why they were able to get to the point they were last year.
Doesn't matter how you play in August, September, it's how you play in December.
And talking to several coaches, they reiterated that to us. Service ace again for Micah Hancock.
Yeah, if Hancock keeps serving like this, I think Illinois is going to have fits. That is the toughest top spin serve. And again, it angles over to the left back area of the court. They're adjusting their serve receive. The ball is rolling on the court, so they're going to have to whistle this one again.
Second in the nation in service aces this season for Micah Hancock. So it's no surprise that she's come out and done this well. She had 2 service aces in the early going of set number 5 against Northwestern. She really poses a big threat. She'll tap it over. Longo able to get to it. Wendy, solo stop. No, but it's still up. Right up by Dominique Gonzalez. Bump set to Bush. Longo can't handle it, and it's out of play. Point for Illini.
And that was a great block by Liz McMahon, and then good coverage on Penn State's side of the net. Just an overall great volleyball we're seeing here tonight. I just keep talking with a big smile on my face because I'm just so excited at the level of play that these teams are playing at right now.
Number 1 team in the nation against the number 8 team in the nation. Fantastic top 10 battle from Happy Valley. Hancock runs his way down. Scott over the block. Larson able to save it. Scott again. Feldman able to get there. Slide play to Johnson. Overpass, and it's picked up by the Illini. No one ready to put it down. Little now. Who gets the kill? Set point number 1 for the Nittany Lions.
Well, Nia Grant is emerging as Penn State's little secret weapon here. At crucial time, she's able to get set, which is a very nice addition to the offense, and then to be able to score at this point in the set is unbelievable for the freshman.
4 kills for Nia Grant so far in the match. From the back row. Penn State takes set 1. Nittany Lions on top of the number 1 team in the nation. We'll see what they can do in set number 2 from University Park. This week on BTN.com, don't miss any exciting volleyball action. Go to video.btn.com this week and check out our upcoming volleyball schedule. Go to video.btn.com for more information. Penn State takes set number 1 over the Fighting Illini, the last remaining unbeaten team nationally. These Penn State fans happy to see their team come out with that kind of effort. Audrey, the hitting percentage not strong for either team in that first set.
Right, I think for Illinois it's a deep area of concern right now, hitting about .079. For Penn State it's .104. So neither team really proud of their hitting percentage right now, but let me tell you, I like Nia Grant for Penn State. She's got 4 kills on 6 attempts, hitting 66%. You know, I kind of wondered what freshman was going to have a breakout match, and it seems like early in this in this first set here, at least it's been all Mia Grant for Penn State.
And Grant may be coming on strong here. 5 kills and 2 blocks against Northwestern on Wednesday. Russ Rose, of course, has been with the Nittany Lions 33rd season in Happy Valley. One of just 3 coaches to reach that 1,000 win plateau. Of course, 31 All-Americans he's coached. 4-time ABCA Coach of the Year. Number of different accolades. You just cannot count all of the times that head coach Russ Rose has been named a different honor. And of course, so many different coaches have been at Penn State for such a long time. Joe Paterno, of course, that doesn't even count the time that he was an assistant coach for the Nittany Lions. Russ Rose in his 33rd year, and Char Moret for the field hockey team. 25th season. You come to Penn State and you stay at Penn State.
Yeah, it does seem like an awfully nice place to work, and I think when you're as good as Russ Rose is, they want to keep you for as long as they can.
Penn State, of course, under Russ Rose, has done so well in this building, especially in Big Ten play. They had a 94-match home winning streak that set the NCAA mark. They currently have a 68-match home Big Ten winning streak, which is on the line tonight. So that's the last streak really remaining from the past 4 years. Obviously, they still have the national championship run. However, in terms of matches, that 68-match home winning streak in Big Ten play is still on the line.
That's right, and Illinois would love to be a streak buster right now and take them and beat them tonight, but they're going to have to play a little bit more consistently. They're going to have to really control the serve from all the players, but especially from Hancock. Boy, she got some key points for Penn State here in that first set.
You mentioned the Illini want to be streak busters again because they broke that 65-match Big Ten winning streak a season ago at Huff Hall. So they've been able to take out this Penn State team. However, it's more difficult on the way. Set 2 underway with Lurson serving. McClendon trying to stay on the path, but she sends that one wide.
Gonzalez is in as she was in the first set, and they're picking on her a little bit. You know, she's just a freshman and holding on the big responsibility of playing that first ball.
Audrey, what do you want to see the Illini do differently here in set number 2?
Well, the Illini, I think that they're playing very well. I think they're going to make their share of errors, and what I liked is that they rebound quickly from that. You know, they didn't let Illinois get into much of a run. Again, they're just getting the crowd into it, and they're making good plays. So I think if they can continue to play aggressively, that they should do well here.
The Illini out to a 2-0 lead in set number 2. Saw them fall behind in set number 1. They were able to rally to draw it close at about 20 points. And then Penn State came out of a break and won it 25-21. Hancock goes over on 2. The Illini were ready for it. Now Ward. McClendon blocked at the net, but a good up by Gonzalez. Scott now. Long rally between both teams. Good defense on both sides. McClendon. Shane will now set. She'll get it over to McMahon. At the net, just tapped up on the wall. Illegal contact. She reached over.
You gotta let the setter play the ball. You cannot block the set there, and that's exactly what she did. So the ball goes to Penn State.
And it's Hancock again back serving. 2 service aces down the stretch in set number 1 for Micah Hancock, the freshman. She sends it wide. They'll call a touch, though, against the Nittany Lions and give the point to the Illini. Penn State fans and the coaching staff not happy with that call.
Yeah, this is not a good time to be a Lions person. I don't know if she's saying that it hit the front row, the blockers in the front row, or the defensive player that was diving to the ball.
Hancock in the middle of Grant, but it's sent back by the Illini block. And it's toward Liz McMahon.
So why didn't that work? I feel like the play evolved a little too slowly, too predictable. You got to know as a setter, you have to have a sixth sense of where that blocker is, and they were right on Penn State's middle attacker. So you got to get a feel for where that blocker is and set against where that block is going.
And is that something that will come with time for Micah Hancock? She's just a freshman out there.
Yeah, I think you can definitely train it. There's certainly drills that help the setter take their eye off the ball and take a quick peek at where the blocker is. So that can certainly be developed and perfected over time.
So now the Illini out to a 5-1 lead in set number 1. Serving well is Colleen Ward back there. course, a second-team All-American a season ago for the Illini. She's 10th in the Big Ten in kills percent this season. And again, she does it all over the floor. Clemmer off that block. McMahon tools the block for the point for the Illini.
You know, I saw McMahon last night against Penn State just have a spectacular match. You know, she's from Lakota West in Ohio. You know, Ohio State was a little upset that she didn't go to Ohio State, but nonetheless, 11 kills, hit 58% last night. She's part of a great club program out of Cincinnati. It's Team Club C, and boy, she is coming on strong as a freshman.
Liz McMahon, number 3 recruit overall nationally. She was courted by both the Nittany Lions, by the Buckeyes, by the Illini, many different teams. But she's such a good 6'6" freshman on the right side. Tough pass there. Free ball opportunity for Penn State. Longo will get it to Scott. She goes off the block for the Bulls.
A big swing by Ace Scott. It's important to note that Maddie Martin was playing the left side position, and now we have Cavas, who rotated in the front row. So a couple of different options that Russ Rose has, and he'll rotate people according to how they're performing. He's got a lot of different tricks up his sleeve.
Maddie Martin has been performing well in that back row. She has 21 digs in the last 2 matches for Penn State, setting a career high in both of them. So she's a player that's done well in that back row where Penn State has struggled this season.
That's right, and that's one of those positions, boy, I don't think those back row players get enough credit. You know, last year they had DeRico and Quilico, and I watched some footage from that 2010 team, and boy, the balls that they got up were just incredible.
Hancock goes for the quick set to Grant, who gets another kill, number 5 in the match for Nia Grant.
Here you see blockers are going to be split. There's not 2 blockers in front of her, and she cuts that ball. Just a great job. Good vision.
Interesting to see after head coach Russ Rose has said that his middles have been struggling so much with communication in the early part of the Big Ten season. Hancock goes to Scott. Block was there for the Illini, and it's out of play. Point goes to Penn State.
When you talk about Penn State's middle attack, it has to evolve if the big, strong outside hitters are going to score. Here you see the ball going off the hands of the block and out of bounds. Cavas was trying for it, and she just let it go. Lucky her.
Service error by the Nittany Lions. 8-4 lead in set number 2 for Illinois.
Longo is back in for Penn State. I'm telling you what, she has earned that libero shirt. That's kind of been flipped around from player to player, and she's playing outstanding today.
She's been fighting in practice for that libero jersey. Audrey, we talk about the freshmen who had to come in and play big roles for Penn State. They have 13 of their 17 players as underclassmen, including Ariel Scott, who gets that kill. But you have so many young players, and especially 3 different freshmen who are seeing significant playing time. How difficult is it for them to come in to a winning tradition like Penn State, a dynasty, and be able to live up to the expectations?
Yeah, you know what? It may be difficult for us, and it's hard for us to wrap our brain around, but Russ Rose could care less. He expects them to elevate their level of play, and he'll be patient and up to a certain point. And at this point in the season, against the number 1 team, he expects them to play their best. And if they can't be the best person out there, he expects the best effort from those kids. And I think if he sees that from those freshmen especially, he will be pleased.
Nia Grant, Micah Hancock, Ayana Whitney, several freshmen, Dominique Gonzalez, who we've seen so far. If you come to Penn State, expect to play in your first year. Served by Bosch. Now Cavs puts a swing on. Beltran with a press set over the Ward, past the triple block. Cavs tries to roll it over. Ward once more. Cavs can't get to it. Ellen Longo unable to get a hand underneath.
A roll shot there for Ward works out for her. And it's interesting to see there are times when Penn State blocks 3 and times when they pull off. And that time, you know, Cavs was back to play the tip, but she's just out of position.
Miscommunication, but she still puts it over. Not a great pass, but still a kill for Katie Slay.
Yeah, when the left side blocker moves in as a middle attacker, you know that that left front area of the court is open. So, you know, just that two-handed set over will score that time, but I don't think Russ Rose wants to see many more shots like that.
Dominique Gonzalez now serving for the Nittany Lions. Out of system for the Illini and a free ball chance. Double contact call though against the Illini, and now Penn State drawing within 3.
You know, you got to be good at balls that are out of system. So that means when the setter is not touching the ball and perhaps the setter is being predictable, because they're often at setting it to that left side hitter, you got to do something better than set a free ball over the net. Or a good opponent will just slam it back down.
State trying to slam down that block, but the Illini keep it alive. Marsh sends it back over. Martin now outside. She's able to angle her body and get it in play. Off the Penn State block. And that one coming right towards us, as Penn State was unable to take that one down. Micah Hancock and Katie Slay.
But my reflexes aren't what they used to be. I'll tell you what.
Audrey, they were waiting for you to get back out on the floor. Don't tell them that you're not ready.
I wish I was ready.
Jackie Wolf serving for the Illini. Katie Slay, again, that miscommunication. Hancock and Slay have not had the timing down all season. See Audrey trying to get to for it. Yeah, I mean, you're the former player, Audrey, so you have to protect me if the ball comes back this way. Service say-so for the Illini is Jackie Wolf. 13-7 lead is set number 2 for the Illini.
Now Davis back in the lineup for Penn State. Maddie Martin was holding that spot. Sometimes Deja just needs a little bit of time to regroup and get the pressure off her. She's back in the match and needs to deliver some big kills.
Every opponent knows she's the focal point of the offense. Overpass, and Ward gets the kill.
You know, it's interesting because in that first set, it really seemed like Penn State was serving very well and causing fits for Illinois' passing game, and now it's the complete opposite. Illinois serving tough and Penn State not able to get a good pass to the setter.
Slay this time, she gets the kill. Communication there between Katie Slay and Micah Hancock. It's a 14-8 lead for the Illini.
I think if Katie Slay continues to play this aggressively and elevate her game, this team will continue to get better, because when you have those strong middles, boy, it opens things up. I keep saying that over and over, but it's just a valuable asset to have some kid able to go around the setter and hit that slide.
Ward up by Gonzalez, overpass. Holly Ward's gotten a couple of those, and now the Illini lead it 15-8 in set number 2. They're clawing their way back, trying to even it up at 1. We'll see if they can do that next. BTN introduces BTN Live Big, our initiative to recognize and inspire the community service efforts of Big Ten fans. To live big is to find a cause that you're passionate about and to do something about it. For more information, go to btnlivebig.com to find out how you can do more. BTN Live Big. Act, serve, inspire. Russ Rose talking with his setter, Micah Hancock, the freshman out of Oklahoma, wants to make sure she's on the same page as her hitters.
Yeah, it's real important for coaches and setters to have that dialogue, and sometimes that dialogue is hard to listen to when you're the setter and you're getting quite possibly chewed out. But right now, she is in charge of the offense. She is an extension of Russ Rose out on the court. She needs to do what he feels is important, and I think right now the connection between her and the middles, especially Katie Slay, needs to improve, and that timing is all on the shoulders of Hancock.
Graduated 6 seniors a season ago, including Blair Brown, Ariel Wilson, Alyssa DeRico, 3 players who won all 4 national championships with the Nittany Lions, a who's who of players for Penn State. Of course, several of them winning All-American honors. And now Penn State has to fill in with numerous underclassmen, including freshmen like Micah Hancock, Mia Grant, Dominique Gonzalez, so many different players out there for the Nittany Lions in their first year playing.
Well, it's nice to see Ward taking some big swings at the ball. I kind of felt in that first set she wasn't really in tempo. It was She's roll shotting a little bit more than I'm used to seeing her, so taking some big swings, and as a result, her team is up here in the second set.
There at the net is Dorn. She can't finish it off. Sent back over. Good decision by Lursen, but the Nittany Lions are able to save it. Lursen with the back set goes over to McMahon, and it's blocked. The solo stuff by Asia.
Take a look at that get. This is a nice up by Illinois, but then when you're one-on-one as a hitter, the advantage clearly goes to you, so you got to be able to look at the block, solo block, and hit around it.
Lursen in the middle to Dorn, who puts it in that back line.
You know, again, I think it's so important for the middles to get involved. Dorn has been so quiet. Here you see a nice jump set, one-on-one, and she's able to score. You've got to have a pass in order to do that, and you have to set that middle at the right time. If you've got two blockers banked on your middle hitter, you've got to shoot it to the outside.
Dorn, a redshirt freshman in her first year starting for the Illini. Grant puts another one down low. It's a battle of freshman middles on this one.
Yeah, Grant doing a nice job again. Her timing is perfect. It seems like Hancock is in rhythm with her. Again, there's nothing better when your hitter looks at you and just gives you that big smile like they love the set that you give them.
This time it's Aaron Johnson. See middles on both sides getting involved. 18-11 lead now for the Illini.
You know, and I'm always a firm believer that even if your middles get blocked early on in the match and early on in the set, it's okay because it keeps the middle blocker on the other side of the net there, and they have to respect the fact that you might set the middle. So I think if you always go to the outside early in the set, early in the match, I think you set yourself up for failure.
That's four consecutive points coming from the middle for both teams. This time it was Katie Slay.
And that's the one ball attack that Katie Slay was having trouble with the timing. There you see she lines up perfectly, explosive approach, and is able to score a key point for her team.
Just tapped over by Lursen. She'll get the point. Great decision there.
We haven't mentioned Lursen all that much. The great setter she is.
Annie Lursen transferring from Connecticut 2 seasons ago. She sat out as a redshirt and then, of course, sat behind Hillary Hayne the year in that year as well. Now she's running this offense and running the #1 team in the nation. More from Happy Valley in a moment. Head coach Kevin Hambley for the Fighting Illini in his 3rd year with the program has them atop the standings of the ABCA poll just in his 3rd year, back-to-back Sweet 16 appearances. And the thing you don't see on there, Audrey, his recruiting ability. The #7 class in his first season, the #3 class in his 2nd season. He's been able to bring in the top talent to the Illini program.
Yeah, you know, he's young, he's energetic, he's kind of got this laid-back attitude, but he's not a sloppy coach. He really pays attention to detail. You know, Jim Stone, I spoke to Jim about Kevin Hambley, and Jim has the utmost respect for him and thinks that Hambley is going to just continue making this Illinois team a national standout.
2nd best start in program history for the Illini at 16-0 on the year. Scott comes from the back row. She'll get the hit.
That's a great swing by Scott, but a great set by Hancock. She is just setting the ball perfectly so that Scott is able to leap from behind the 10-foot line into the front court. So that's a well-placed set with Hancock running to the left front area of the court.
Johnson on the slide, down the line, she gets the kill.
Well, if Johnson keeps hitting slides over McClendon, I think we're going to see a possible lineup change there with maybe Cabas, who's a little bit more physical on the block. So we'll look for that, but that's only if Johnson keeps swinging well from that position on the court.
Head coach Kevin Hambley called Aaron Johnson a beast last week in that battle of unbeatens against Purdue. Came up with 5 blocks in that match. This time it's a block for Katie Slay, though, and Penn State draws within 6.
Well, there's that defensive player of the week for the Big Ten, and this is why she gets hip to hip with her outside blocker and then reaches over the net onto the other side of the court, and that makes it really hard to use her hands off the block, and she dominated on that one.
6'6". Middle hitter for the Penn State Nittany Lions. This time it's in the middle to Dorn. Dominique Gonzalez with a great dig. McClendon just taps it back. Now Ward off of Hancock. Hancock on two, she puts it in.
That is so exciting to watch her do that. You just know that it's going to be a kill. She does it so aggressively. Look at that swing, and the blocker for Illinois needs to come to their right-hand side a little bit more to take that angle, because she very rarely will hit it any other direction.
Sent down by Barsh, up by Longo. Back set to Scott, puts it off the table. And air by Ariel Scott, and the Nittany Lions gives the Illini 4 points away from set 2.
Yeah, and I'm watching the look in her eye, and she's like, that's okay, it was my fault, give me the ball again. And you gotta like that and respect that in your hitters when they're able to maintain their confidence. They have to have short memories, bad memories. Don't think about the last play, think about the next one.
She did on Wednesday night against Northwestern. She started very slowly but finished well for Penn State. She comes from the back row with the tap over. Larson with the back set to McMahon. Now McClendon. Back row defense by Michelle Barsh. Longo with the bump set to McClendon. Both sides reading it very well. Now Ward taps it over. McClendon is there. Scott this time off the Illini block, but Barsh able to save it. Larson will send over a free ball. It's tapped over by Hancock. Good rally going on both sides. Now Hancock in the middle to Grant. And it's sent back over off of Hancock. Out of play. And they'll give it to the Illini.
Well, I like it when I see a 6'3" player like Barsh going hard for the ball. Take a look at this, though. The rally ends with a block from Illinois, but in that rally, boy, Barsh went hard for the ball in the middle, back, and saved that point for her team.
You talk about Michelle Barsh, she's great on that defensive side as well for the Illini. They lead it in set number 2, 22-15. We'll see if they can take it and even up the match. Wednesday, conference powers collide when top-ranked Illinois hosts 18th-ranked Michigan. Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, presented by Pure Silk, only on BTN. The Illini on top in set number 2, 22-15. And Michelle Barsh, a big reason why she's such a strong defensive player in that back row.
Well, I'll tell you what, defense is an attitude, and it wins matches. And there you see a great get, like you said, by Barsh in the back court. Your teammates will feed off of that. When you're going hard for balls, I'll tell you what, it's contagious. Everybody else on the team will go as hard as you. So Barsh is doing a good job of setting a tone. That senior leadership she provides is so valuable to this Illinois team.
12 double-doubles on the air for Michelle Barsh. I mentioned 10th in the Big Ten in digs per set, so she gets it done offensively and on that defensive side. Ayanna Whitney now in for the Lions. She puts a swing on the ball. Ward with the tap over. Scott can't get to it, and the Illini are at 23-15.
The left side position for Penn State keeps rotating. Rotating door here, but what you see is a nicely placed shot by Illinois in that open area of Penn State's court.
And a service ace for Annie Larson, the center for the Illini. Set point number 1 for Illinois.
Yeah, this is the battle, the game within the game, the battle of the serve and pass, and right now, Illinois clearly winning that battle.
Larson will send it long, though, and service there by Illinois. It gives Penn State life, but they're still down.
That's right. All they need is a good pass here, stay in system, and they've got the second set under the belt.
Do still have to deal with Micah Hancock. Larson should go to Ward. Ward sends it down, right up by Longo. Hancock back to Scott. Longo smooth. At the net, tapped over by Nia Grant. Another good defensive play by Longo. Whitney now, she's blocked, but it's still alive. Good rally going between both teams. Scott this time, she'll put it away. Ariel Scott gets kill number 8 for her in the match. 24-18 lead in set number 2. Penn State took set number 1, 25-21. And you see Ariel Scott mentioned it coming in, averaging about 4.2 kills per set in Big Ten play. And a service ace for Micah Hancock. The Illini having a very difficult time handling the service of Micah Hancock. One more look at it here. Hancock coming into this match, leading the team as second in the nation. 42 service aces coming into this one for Micah Hancock. So far, she's able to put down 3 service aces in this match, and Penn State has to serve well if they're going to take down the top-ranked team in the nation tonight. I mentioned earlier, Penn State has not seen many number one ranked teams come into this building. It's usually the Nittany Lions who are number 1, but the Illini, first team since 2007, playing a number 1 ranked team for Penn State for the first time. Audrey, of course, these teams facing off here in a difficult environment and coming down at the end of the set. Penn State needs all the momentum they can get from their fans.
That's right. Illinois just needs to calm down and get this point out of the timeout. They don't want to play around with Penn State, not in this place. So Illinois really have to focus again on their passing game. Calm down, get a good pass, get a platform to your target, and slam it home and call it a second set.
This would be the first set victory for the Illini at Rec Hall since 1995. And a 15 straight wins for Penn State over Illinois in University Park, Pennsylvania. They swept every one. So the Illini are hoping to break a streak here. They can get one more point. And give Penn State a chance.
Yeah, there's nobody else that Penn State wants serving right now. They want Hancock to do what she does best, and that's just rip it from the end line.
4 service aces now for Hancock. Larson goes to Ward. And that one's off the antenna. No, they'll give that one to Penn State, so they do call it off the antenna. And now it's a 4-point margin in set number 2. Solids in the back row. Now Hancock. She'll go to stop. Illini trying to get this last point of the set. 3-ball chance now. Hancock goes to Whitney. Good up on Illinois. McMahon this time. Longo able to get to it. No easy points here between these two teams. Whitney able to get it up. Hancock now to Scott with the tap. And McMahon is there. Beltran. Hancock. Now Scott. She puts it down. And there we go. Scott gets on the point for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Well, you're not going to win the match setting 3 balls over.
A 24-21 lead. Another timeout for the Illini. Audrey, what a great rally between these two teams, and Scott was able to finally put it away.
Yeah, great rally, you are right. But I'll tell you what, Ward has got to deliver on the outside. When you're the go-to left side hitter, you cannot send roll shots, 3 balls over the net. You got to swing hard. Illinois needs their hitters to stay in system, to know what their hitting routes are, and to deliver. They do not want this to go tight. It's Penn State's home crowd here is going nuts.
Rec Hall loving it at the moment, but Audrey, what is Kevin Handley saying to his team at this moment?
Well, right now, I think he just wants to let them catch their breath, refocus. He's probably reminding them that they only need to execute 1 play. So, make sure that you're doing your little job out there. I'm sure he's telling the passers to calm down, get a good pass. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just don't overpass it. And outside hitters have to swing hard. I'd like to see a good offense being run here by Illinois. If not, Penn State is on a wicked roll right now, and they could take this second set.
Penn State's record against the Illini, 20-1 in this building. That only win for Illinois coming in 1995. Now Micah Hancock again, still at that back line for the Nittany Lions. A 24-15 lead for Illinois earlier in this set. It's been a 6-point run for Penn State. All on Hancock's serve. set 2. Scott now. Not a great pass, but tapped over. Longo gets to it. Chance now for the Illini. Larson back to McMahon. Longo can't do it. The Illini take their first set from Penn State since 1995. Illinois able to hold off the rally by Penn State and take set number 2. Finally getting that last point after such a long run by Penn State. As you get one more look at it, Longo unable to get to it, and we're even at 1 set apiece. Penn State falling to the Illini in set number 2 after taking set number 1. So these fans in Rec Hall know they're in for a great one tonight, as Penn State and Illinois face off the top-ranked team in the nation against the number 8 squad. Good battle back and forth just when it seemed like the Illini were going to run away with set 2. Penn State was able to come back, but Illinois takes it. And we'll send it over to Audrey with head coach Kevin Hamlin.
Well, Coach, your thoughts of the match so far?
You said we wanted to make it ugly, and I think it's ugly. I mean, I think we did a good job of that. That's not exactly what we're talking about. We want to extend rallies, but I think both teams are playing, we're making a lot of errors, and both teams are kind of scrapping, and they're fighting hard. It's not really clean, but I'm happy to be 1-1 right now. I think both teams are going to steady out here. I feel like especially the first set, I mean, both teams hit about 100, and I think this will steady out. Both teams will start playing a little bit better in the next 2 sets.
So what's the message to your team when you meet with them in the locker room?
Well, first we got to figure out how to handle Micah's serve, because she's kicking our butt on that thing. And then just stay within ourselves and go 1 point at a time, all that coach talk stuff. And I think we did a good job of that until 24-18. And then we tried to win the match instead of just trying to win the next point in front of us. And I just got to play the way we were playing for a big stretch there, and that second set will be fine. We got some things we got to work on adjustment-wise, and we're going to talk about that right now as a staff.
Well, good luck, Coach. Go get them.
Even to set number 1 and set number 2, even after the first 2 sets of the match. We'll see how it plays out. Set number 3 coming up after the intermission. Penn State and Illinois in a battle. Tight match from Happy Valley as set 1 went to the Nittany Lions, set 2 to the Illini, and we're almost set to get the run underway for the 3rd set. Audrey, who do we look to in this latter portion of the match to really step up and have a big performance on both sides?
Right, well, I think Mia Graham right now is playing very well in the middle for Penn State. She's got 6 kills so far, hitting 36%. So definitely she can be one of those players that you can go to, an unexpected player, perhaps you could say, that Illinois would not expect to be getting the ball in a critical situation, but I think she has proven that she can deliver. I think for Illinois, they still have to serve tough. They've got to get Penn State out of the system. I think Annie Larson's been doing a good job, and if she can keep serving aggressively, I think she'll give her team a slight advantage.
Annie Larson, Colleen Ward, as well as Jackie Wolf, they've been solid from the service line for the Illini, but we cannot help but talk about Micah Hancock. She gave Penn State a chance in set number 2, serving those consecutive points. Illinois, as Coach Hambley said, just doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, it's that game within the game that sometimes people overlook, that serve-pass battle. The coaches understand the importance of serving aggressively, and Hancock was a prime example of how she got Penn State in the position to almost win that second set. So it was a scary moment for Illinois. You could see the looks on their faces like, oh, please serve this one. But she's a really good, aggressive, consistent hitter server from the end line.
The Illini avoid the sweep. They've been swept the last 15 times at Rec Hall by Penn State. So good play by Illinois to able to avoid that. They want to continue it and sustain their set 2 play into the rest of the match. They saw their hitting percentage go up. They're hitting 184 so far, but that was down under 100 after set number 1. So for the Illini to improve that number, that's a big reason why they've evened up this match. It'll be Allie Longo, the libero for the Nittany Lions to serve. Longo is second on the Nittany Lions roster in service aces. She puts the net there. There's McMahon with the tap over, saw no one there, and she gets the point.
Nice set by Annie Larson to push that ball all the way back to the right side. Well-placed tip there by McMahon in that little opening there right above the block. She slams the ball down so hard and so deep that Penn State's defense is playing her deep on that, so she's got good vision and knows when to tip.
8 kills for Liz McMahon in the match. Hancock gets over to Whitney. That's Bush. Bush will send it back over. Hancock now gets a chance for Whitney again. Block is there. Erin Johnson gets her hands on it.
I love when Erin Johnson comes down from that block. Look at the excitement. Look at the elevation here, the penetration. And then she gets her team fired up.
Erin Johnson had 10 blocks against Minnesota earlier this season. That one went to 5 sets. The Illini came out on top of that one, so Johnson will have to continue to be involved for Illinois. Whitney goes outside the block. Looks as if they were trying to say that was outside the antenna. Discussion between the officials as they'll look to the line judge, and they will give the point to Penn State.
Well, Hambley's thinking, do I need glasses? Because here's what I saw. I saw the ball being hit outside the antenna. Let's take a look. And Hambley's certainly not pleased with that call.
Tough to tell from that angle.
Yeah. Well, the angle.
Hambley saw it.
Right, that's right. It's hard to see the antenna from where we're sitting.
Barsh off the Penn State block, and she gets a kill. That's only kill number 4 for Michelle Barsh, so we expect her to be more involved.
Yeah, she certainly is capable of getting bigger numbers than that, but talking to Hambley, her strength is definitely getting kills, but then she also tends to hit some errors, and so if she can eliminate those errors and increase that hitting percentage, she'll be doing her team a good service here tonight.
And back in the middle, this time to Scott. Now Ward. Hancock able to get to it. Scott gets the touch on the Beltran.
Beltran working very hard for Illinois in the backcourt, but wasn't able to control that ball. Let's take a look at this hard, deep shot. Again, crowd loving it. Beltran, not so much.
Beltran does have 11 digs so far in this match, so she has done well defensively with the Illini. Lacey Fuller now in for Penn State. Johnson on the slide off Katie Cavasno, but they'll call it off of the Nittany Lions. They will. Thought they might give an antenna call. We talk about Jennifer Beltran, and of course she is just a sophomore for this Illinois team. Last year Jennifer Bonilla was her name, but in honor of the family that she adopted as her parents, she has changed her name back in August to Jennifer Beltran. They've done so much for her, helping her to get into a private high school and be able to build her volleyball career, and she wanted to honor them. And an ace there for the Illini.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story, and seriously, it just goes to show you how much a positive impact a teacher can have on a young person. And Beltran, really, it's the volleyball version of the blindside story that many of us are familiar with. Fantastic part in the Beltrans for taking care of this young lady.
And of course, Gustavo Beltran was the kindergarten teacher for Jennifer Beltran, Jennifer Bonilla at the time. They had a connection. They built from there. Of course, he was her club volleyball coach. And eventually, she became a U.S. junior national team player, met Kevin Hambley, and ended up with the Illini.
Yeah, and the sport of volleyball was not cheap either. To play club volleyball was pretty expensive, and I know the Beltrans are unlike the blindside story of the family that had an incredible amount of wealth. Well, this family struggled, but yet understood how important it is to get kids involved in sports and did the right thing for this young lady.
6-2 lead in set number 3 for Illinois. This one, we got an illegal back row attack as Barsh took off, did not take off behind that 10-foot line.
Yeah, if they can clean that up, boy, that would be a deadly attack. Take a look, she's very close. It's just that 1 foot, it's like her big toe just went over that line. She's smiling. It's okay. She's saying, it's okay, set me again.
Over on 2 by Lurson. Hancock able to get to this one. Free ball chance now for the Illini. Lurson sent over to Dorff. Grant's able to get to it. Now McClain puts it away.
Well, I'll tell you, the get by Nia Grant impresses me. Again, defense is an attitude. She kept that ball up, and then cleaning it up is McClendon there with a huge shot.
Show that back to serve now, Nia Grant. still alive. Free ball chance up for the Illini. Ward this time still can't get it to go. Fuller will set up for McClendon. Beltran. Now Ward goes towards the fans and still keeps it in play. Hancock in the middle to Slay. Another great dig by Beltran. Grant. Scott. Wilson. Ward trying to end the rally, but she can't. Now Ford will send it to Scott. This one's going to have to be run down by Wilson. She gets a hand on it, but the rally ends and goes to Penn State.
But Hanley is up, clapping his team, saying, I appreciate your effort. That one could have went either way. Penn State earning that. Just a tough ball for Larson to get.
Joust to the net, won by Larson this time.
Yeah, Larson made up for that ball she couldn't get by winning the joust to the net. Again, it's good when a setter goes up second and then takes the ball and wipes it. You're going to see her movement is pushing the ball into the blocker's hands and then out of bounds. Smart play by Larson.
We mentioned Annie Larson, the redshirt junior setter for the Fighting Illini. First year running this offense. Set back over to Scott again. Larson will look to Ward. Ward goes through the block and puts it down.
Those balls that deflect off the block are actually not bad. The blockers are slowing the ball down. It's up to the backcourt defense to react quickly. This time the ball landed in that middle area of the court that's sometimes so hard to defend because you got your right back and left back player playing the wings and deep on the line. Those are hard sometimes to get, but you got to run them down.
Lacey Fuller and Allie Longo went up there able to get to that one. Blocked though by Anna Dorn and Liz McMahon. That combination, 6'3" and 6'6", a huge block.
Yeah, it's ginormous. And Liz McMahon, really a freshman, just sealing that net nicely. It's like a veteran player out there.
Four-point lead in set number 3 for the Illini as Larson will serve. Service ace for Annie Larson. She continues that solid play from the service line.
Yeah, Lady Luck was on her side on that one. That ball just trickled over the net. I do remember the day when with the ball hit the net, the ball went to the other side. So the evolution of this game has favored Larson.
Annie Larson getting another service ace, and the Illini are on top 10-5 in set 3. They want to take control of this match. We'll see if they can. Presented by Tachikara. We've got the ball, you bring the game. Stay tuned right after volleyball for an encore presentation of Big Ten football and breakdown. Coming up next, Big Ten football breakdown as a look back at the weekend that was in the Big Ten college football landscape. Old Main on a beautiful night in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania. Just a gorgeous weekend, Audrey, for all of the events going around Happy Valley. They're happy inside this building so far, but they want to see their team come back down 10-5 in set number 3.
Well, they sure do, and Penn State's got to get a couple points here. Can't let Illinois get a run, go on a streak. They got to get a good pass, control what they're able to control on their side of the net.
Audrey, we talk about the #1 team in the nation, number 8, of course, Penn State, 4-time defending national champions. Slade puts that one away. What really makes up a great team? Because we're seeing 2 phenomenal programs out here tonight.
Yeah, I think there's many factors, I believe, that are equally important, but recruiting, let's take a look at this. Slade, that nice cutback shot. Recruiting is the lifeline of a program. You've got to be able to get physical players into your program. I think sometimes if you've got a good club program, a couple good club programs in state, recruiting in state is also a huge benefit. I think you will always need a good setter if you're going to have a good team, and of course the knowledge of coaches and having good leadership at the top, good assistant coaches to help you out is critical as well.
Of course, Kevin Hanley for the Fighting Illini. You talk about that club volleyball scene, and of course in the state of Illinois, it's really a hotbed of talent. We've seen Russ Rose go into the state of Illinois and take players out of there, but now Kevin Hanley's been able to lock down that state and get some of the best players.
Yeah, some of the best club programs are in Illinois, and again, you see that type of thing happening in Nebraska too. Nebraska does a lot of in-state recruiting, as does Minnesota. So all of these these teams have got these wonderful feeder programs and very competitive club programs, so it makes recruiting a whole heck of a lot easier.
Maybe one of the big reasons why Coach Hambley was given the head coaching job at Illinois, because he showed how he could recruit and bring players to the program when he was an assistant for 3 seasons.
Yeah, if Hambley came into my house and wanted my daughter to come to this program, I'd say, you gotta get in the paperwork. She's going, he's smooth, and he's a player's kind of coach. He can relate to them. He's wonderful.
And Katie Slay relating to the ball, putting it on the floor for Penn State. A 2-point lead here in set number 3 for Illinois. Katie Slay the other night was the player that Wes Rose said was the only one who played well against Northwestern. He's trying to put something together here in set number 3 for Penn State. Back set goes to Scott. Off of Ward, and it's down.
A thunderous hit by Scott. That's the potential that she has. Not only does she get the kill, but it's such a momentum changer. Look at how big she swings there, deep into the backcourt. Dynamic player, that Ariel Scott.
12 kills for Ariel Scott. We talked about Katie Slay. She has 5 blocks in the match. This one's going to be touched and off of the Nittany Lions, so the point goes to Illinois.
Both setters feeling real comfortable setting their right side attackers. McMahon that time not quite as hard, but well placed. I think that's a very good quality to have, to be able to take a little bit off the hit and place it in the open corners of the court.
Audrey, this is the point in each of the first 2 sets where we saw one team pull away and then the other was able to rally. And a very crucial moment here as it's been the momentum swing at this point has decided to set. Man, Longo able to save it. A great diving dip by the libero for Penn State. Larson goes to McMahon. Whitney! She gets the lock, and the freshman comes over with his stuff.
Well, Longo saved that play, gave her team the opportunity to win the point, and then everybody converges and wins. A great play here. Penn State's team just playing good overall defense, going hard for the ball. Illinois not able to control that in their backcourt.
12-11 in set number 3 with Longo serving for Penn State. Nittany Lions were down in set number 3 early to the alignment. But it's Longo with the service error and a mistake by Penn State. Rec Hall on the campus of Penn State University in University Park, Pennsylvania, where it's the #1 team in the nation, the Illini, facing off against the #8 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. Mike Wolf alongside Audrey Flaw. And Audrey back and forth in each set. Saw the Illini take set 2, Penn State set 1, and a very close one going in set number 3 right now. This time to Grant off the slide. Another kill for Nia Grant. She has 7 in this one.
Yeah, she's really having her moment tonight. I'll tell you what, if she can continue to deliver kills for her team, this team will just keep getting better and better off her shoulders. I mean, anytime you get that middle hitter going behind the setter, it opens things up, and she gets her share of kills here tonight. She's outstanding.
Nia Grant, a freshman, Micah Hancock as well, trying to get that point off the ace. Good job of the Illini to keep it alive. Scott this time, she'll set it off the mark. And now it's tied 13-13 in set number 3.
Well, it's just going back and forth, and this is exactly what you expect of 2 high-quality teams. And the one that can steady it out and just play with patience and play with the belief that they can win will come out on top.
You saw right there, Nia Grant gets involved, as you mentioned. A service ace again for Micah Hancock, but it opens things up for other players on the team.
Absolutely, and we see a timeout here by Kevin Hambley for Illinois because they still have not found a way to slow down Hancock.
Micah Hancock with that serve has been lethal in this one. A 14-13 lead for Penn State. Another question from the Twitter world. BTN Volleyball, twitter.com/BTN Volleyball. At Volleyball8396, which Big Ten school has the best freshman class, Audrey? And we talk about it. Both of these teams have solid freshmen on the roster, and there's a lot of talented freshmen throughout the entire Big Ten Cup.
That's right. We'll see how these freshmen pan out, but Penn State, I believe, has the #1 recruiting class in the nation. Nia Grant is proving herself to be a huge force right now, and then, of course, Hancock is just a freshman setter. Whitney's out on the left side right now for Penn State, so you can see, along with all the DSs that they brought in, you can see why Penn State class, those freshmen do stand out as being top quality players.
We've seen all 5 freshmen in this match for Penn State. Able to side out and take away that serve from Micah Hancock.
And that's the play that's been working for Illinois all night long. Again, if they're able to pass the ball, keep in system, get Johnson in rhythm, there you see the block is not quite forming quick enough. I think as a blocker, you really got to go from the ball and look at your hitter. Take your eye off the ball, watch the hitter, jump early. The ball will end up where the hitter ends up, but sometimes if you watch the ball too long, you're late.
Hancock goes back to Scott. Just in front of Ivan Feldman, but it's still in play. Scott again finds the back area. We're seeing a player emerge in the Big Ten, Audrey.
Yeah, you know, sometimes my friends laugh at me when I, christen people an All-American, but I think she's definitely earning that right to be at least thought of. She's getting huge numbers and really having a sensational sophomore year so far.
14 kills on 238 hitting for Ariel Scott, and we're only in set number 3. Johnson again on that slide. Grant was there, able to send it back. Ward over the block. Longo with the dig. Out Deja McClendon, and it's going to go off the antenna, so the point goes to Penn State, goes to the Illini.
Longo, I really like her in that libero position. I think she's earning that spot, even though they didn't get that point. She's just in the right spot, and her instincts are right on tonight, really reading around a well-formed block from Penn State.
15 digs for Allie Longo. She had to battle for that libero job after Alyssa Dorico graduated. This time doing the block is Ariel Scott again. Kill number 15. Illinois does not have an answer for Scott.
Longo was involved in that play, passing the ball, just platform to the target, and then a real sweet step to that right side. You can see Ward's hands were not over the net. She was reaching straight on, and that becomes a target.
Just in the middle. That one's won by Katie Slade at 6'6". She's going to be able to win most of those. So now Penn State in the lead, 17-15, after the Illini jumped out early in set 3. Orson, this time to Barsh on the back row. Scott again, off the block and win. Once more, Ariel Scott, another kill, and Penn State a 3-point edge.
Yep, and Hambly's calling for a timeout. He's got to talk to his left side and middle blocker on how to slow this kid down. They're late on the block. I think you can just park yourself outside on that pin and work your way into the court if you're a left side blocker for Illinois. At least you're set up a little bit better than reaching back out to the antenna.
Coming into this match, Illinois was 7th in the Big Ten in blocks per set. They're about middle of the road in a lot of different categories. And when we talked to Kevin Hambly, he said, we may be the #1 team, we're undefeated, but there's a lot more we expect of ourselves. We can continue to improve, and they want to do that here tonight because they don't feel like they're playing their best volleyball yet.
That's right, and I think that's it's a good place to be in when you know that it's only October and there's room to grow as a team. So if they can sharpen up their net play, specifically their blocking, I think things will look a lot different. You know, teams won't go on streaks like Penn State is doing. They're going to the same hitter every time. So I foresee a little adjustment with Ward's starting position as a left side player. And I really think that the middle blockers for Illinois need to be quicker in closing to the outside.
Penn State, you talk about the Illini trying to stop the streak of Ariel Scott here in this set. The Illini stopped the streak of the Nittany Lions a year ago, the 65-match Big Ten Conference winning streak that Penn State had going into Huffall last season. Illinois was able to win that one and, of course, end that rally. And tonight on the line, another streak, but that one coming to an end last season, the 68-match Big Ten home winning streak for the Nittany Lions. The Illini hoping to be streak busters once more. They're going to have to turn things around here in set number 3, down by 3 with Penn State 7 points away. Mia Grant serving for Penn State. Larson So out of the break, the Illini get exactly what they needed.
Yeah, a predictable set to the left side to Ward, so nothing fancy, but she's able to use the block and wipe it off their hands, and then, they get that point. So, sometimes you just have to go to your best hitter and allow them to do what they do best.
Lisa Fuller able to save that one, but the block for the Illini steps up and gets another point.
I like when setters set middle on transition. When they set middle off of a good pass, the block is ready and they don't have to move. You see they're all banked there. You see that? And they both go up. And so the advantage clearly goes to the blocking team. Officer and receiver, they're just banking on that middle attacker.
Scott. This time Barsh is ready for it. And block is there for Penn State. Barsh will send it over to Ward. She goes around the Penn State block. Splendid. Beltran able to get it up. Now back row for Barsh. Important rally here. Man, through the Penn State block, and she gets the point off the hands of Hancock.
And either went through the block or over top of the block, if you can imagine that. Take a look. Let's take a peek at this again. We'll see the block is well formed. Yep, you're right. It did go around the block, not over it, so she clearly saw that the block was taking away line. She ripped it cross court. Nice job, right? That's nice.
Sometimes I come up with something. Listen with the serve now. Scott, she'll put it away and give Penn State back the lead in set 3.
See Beltran a little frustrated. When you're the libero, you don't like it if a ball drops in the area that you are in. See that she wants to control this ball. She's clearly frustrated. She wasn't able to angle her platform, drop her shoulder to get that ball up to the setter.
Scott will check out for now. 17 kills for Ariel Scott. And of course, we can't forget that moment in the Nebraska match where Penn State went to Ariel Scott often. She had a career-high 23 kills and was the big reason Penn State even had a chance going into set 5 against the Cornhuskers. Now, more powerful swing, but it was too strong. Penn State 5 points away now from set 3.
I think Illinois' middles have been so quiet. Boy, if they can get the ball to a middle.
Johnson, the only one on the floor right now. Tapped over and set down. Colleen Ward with a good call there to switch up her swing.
Yeah, I bet she'd be real good on the beach because she seems to have a lot of shots and she knows exactly when to mix in a tip. I criticized her earlier for tipping and rolling too much, so I do like it when she swings aggressively and when she tips on the balls that are set perfectly. When no one's expecting the tip, that's when I think you should tip.
Hancock over on 2. McMahon tries to dive for it, and it's back over for the Illini. Great save, but a free ball chance now for Penn State. Larson. She'll go over to Barsh, and she gets the kill for Illinois. Great save by the Illini, and they keep the point alive and finally put it away.
Yeah, Beltran with a perfect get. Nice dig there. We're going to see her finish it off. That's number 6, Michelle Barsh.
Tied at 20 in set number 3. One of these teams wants to go out of this one and have the momentum. Audrey will see which one takes it. The final moments of set number 3 when we come back. Get tickets to upcoming games, shop for apparel, or subscribe to all access programming at the official home for the Illini, FightingIllini.com, part of the Big Ten Digital Network. Ariel Scott has been very difficult to contain for the Fighting Illini. Audrey in set number 3, 17 kills in the match.
Yeah, she is having a great match so far. She's really the difference maker here. Illinois can't seem to find a way to stop her. She's got an aggressive approach and hits a variety of shots, and sometimes she's hitting the ball high off the blocker's hands into that deep area of the court. Illinois' middle black player just can't seem to get their hands on it. And then just when you play her differently in the backcourt defense, she hits a sharp angle. So hard to read and hard to stop.
And this time, net violation against the Illini. That's the first one we've seen called in this match, and that's a big point.
Lacey Fuller taking control of that pass, and then they call McClendon in a little bit, not setting her on the pin, more of a 3-ball. Let's take a look at this. The blocker is in the net, and that was number 5, I believe, is in the throw.
Larson goes to Dorn this time, and she redeems herself with the kill.
Yeah, I really want to see Illinois set middle a little bit more. Dorn is a fantastic hitter. And that made the difference for Penn State when Grant gets involved in the offense. So I think once you get the middles involved, boy, things look differently, and it sure does pump up your team. So both teams, from a setting standpoint, feed your middles a little bit more.
3 kills for Anna Dorn in this match. Jennifer Beltran will head back to serve for the Illini.
Now, I'm not saying, the middles are going to get more sets than the outsides. Clearly, the strength is in the outside hitters. But I do believe, looking at the numbers, that they should be getting a few more attempts at the ball.
Erin Johnson is so strong on that slide play for the Illini that you're surprised she hasn't gotten more attacks so far.
Yeah, and it is determining, when the pass isn't good, it determines where you can set the ball. So I know that Wilson's having a heck of a time trying to set the slide. Sometimes I think you just got to be risky and go for it, even if you're not in a great position on the court as you're setting the ball.
The discussion between the coaches and the officials had been a question about the rotation for Penn State. And Scott gets one more. Kill number 18. A little bit of a slowdown there, and Penn State's able to get the point out of there.
You got to respect the fact that Scott will nail it down the line. But look how much line is open, and then at the last minute she drops her elbow and tips. As soon as you see that elbow drop, you release from your defensive position and you get your wheels spinning and you run the ball down.
Coach Kevin Hamler talking to the officials, saying that Penn State was out of rotation. They are not calling it. So Penn State does get the point, and they're 3 points away from taking set 3. Hamler not happy with it. Long discussion going on between the officials and the coaches about whether or not Penn State was out of rotation. Larson goes to Johnson in the middle. Stop.
David Niffin, the assistant coach for Illinois, is getting involved. They do a good job of tracking rotations. They know that the rotation is not looking right. Grant there thinks my block is looking right now.
Can be a big swing here in these final points of set 3. State is looking for that ace. McClendon will have to set. She gets it to Whitney. Bush sends it right off the Penn State blocking down.
Buck is tight to the net. Her height allows her to get that ball, push it into the block, and wipe it out. This is a real veteran-looking play here. Look at that. She takes it and intentionally pushes off the blocker's hands.
23-22.
And we're still wanting a lineup check here. He is convinced that something's not looking right on Penn State's side of the net. Again, they know, they track rotations. They know how each blocker, who they're responsible for in every rotation, so they can often spot that before the desk can. And Hamley right on it, showing that he is on this match and knows exactly what's going on.
Of course, Penn State would have given up that point, and the Illini would have had a lead at that moment. And that one not going in favor of Illinois. There's still a discussion here with the officials as they check and see the rotation. Russ Rose just letting it play out at the moment because it's in his favor if they keep the call the way it stands. But they have played. They had a point after the rotation error, according to Coach Hamley, and then they still played, and now they're discussing it again. So it looks as if they'll settle on it and still give Penn State the point. Kevin Hamley arguing for it, but he does not get that rotation call.
And they just inserted Katie Slay in the lineup. So it is looking a little discombobulated over there, but you know what? You got to play. You got to refocus here. It's a critical part of the third set.
He knows how important these final few points are. It's set 3. Whitney. And Slay just puts it over. She's able. No one was there. Off the ricochet.
Well, Slay just walked in that discussion, stepped in on the court. You see the ball that's trickling over the net. She's in perfect position. A lucky spot for her to be in. Perfect timing on her part.
6 with 6 at the net. You're always in the right spot. Set point for the Nittany Lions in set number 3. Penn State able to keep it alive. Whitney sends it back over. Now that slide to Johnson. She'll put it away.
Boy, what a critical point that was, Erin Johnson. And that slide, I just like when Illinois does that. She has come through every time. Penn State just needs to get good pass here, and they can
State block. Logo able to save it. We have free ball chance though for the Illini. Ward again. Up by Scott. And it touches on. Penn State takes set 3.
Wow. Scott making a great defensive play. A lucky play there. It's not how they map it out on the board, but you got to play every ball. Penn State just putting the ball over the net. And so tight to that line. The coaching staff for Illinois having fits about the way that this
Ariel Scott just gets a fist on it.
Yeah. It's a great get there by that kid, number 1, Ace Scott. And they celebrate big time. Penn, Illinois' team really just not liking the way that this match is being refereed right now. So many balls that are tight and close to the line have not gone in his favor.
2-1 lead for Penn State in the match. Back for set 4. We'll see if the Illini can bounce back.
Well, obviously every match in the Big Ten is a big match for us, and it's critical that we win at home. And in terms of them being ranked number 1, it's a great accomplishment for them, but it's also we view it as a big, way for us to make a big statement at our home. And this is the kind of match that every player dreams of.
No one ever wants to lose at home, so you kind of get that pressure on you as well. But it also is like a great experience and a great opportunity, because if you're playing the number 1 team and you're playing them at home, you're not going to get a better chance to beat them.
And you're not going to get a much better atmosphere than we see here in Rec Hall. They've enjoyed the home cooking in a 68-match home Big Ten Conference winning streak. They want to hold on to it and not give it to the number 1 team. Give it up to the Illini. And they took set 3 down the stretch there. Some contested points. Kevin Hamlin wasn't happy with it, but Ariel Scott made everything work.
That's right. We talked about what makes it a good team, and yeah, there's recruiting and there's coaching ability, but you also have to be lucky on those big points. And I'm telling you what, Penn State, they got pretty lucky on some of those calls. Very close calls. Tough job for the Lions people tonight.
Ariel Scott with 9 kills, hit 503 important digs in set 3 alone.
Yeah, it's her attitude, her effort out there. And she's definitely, we keep saying this over and over, this sophomore year that she's having, boy, it's nothing like I've seen her play in her freshman year. I mean, she was a quiet contributor offensively, but she's exploded her sophomore.
She had gotten involved later in the season last year as a freshman. It looked like Russ Rose would redshirt her, but brought her into that Minnesota match after they had struggled, and she really took over from there and playing well. Deja McClendon obviously is a leader, but they needed another attacker. Ariel Scott was that attacker, and now she's even up that to another level.
That's right. Russ Rose would talk about Ace Scott and how she's the best hitter out on the floor. He was saying that earlier on in the season, and I kind of thought, really? Turns out he knows what he's talking about.
Full-time national coach of the year, he certainly does, with 4 consecutive national titles. Now Whitney to get underway in set 4. Scott will send it over. Goes to the back corner and gets it. Plays by Ariel Scott. She still finds a point.
It's not how you want a backroom attack to develop, but Lady Luck on her side. She puts it right in the backcourt corner. She's like getting to the ball there, you see. There's that opening, she finds it.
19th goal for Scott. At the net, up and into the net by the Illini. The lift is called, so Penn State opens up the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Annie Lurson running clear across the court, trying to make a good set out of a bad pass, but she ended up making a bad set, so the notion of bettering the ball just clearly didn't happen there for Illinois.
5 services for Hancock. Make it 6. Nittany Lions up 3.
All right, so how do you stop this serve? Well, you got to move your feet. And if your feet aren't in the right spot, you've got to get control of your upper body. You may not get there with your feet. You may not get your body around the ball, but once that ball comes to you, you've got to move your platform to target. Make that adjustment with your platform and at least put the ball up so that your teammates can play the second ball.
Do it that time. Still need to get the point here to take away the service from Hancock. Hancock sets from the back row. Whitney. Johnson in the middle, missed time. Fuller's there, though, for Penn State. 3-ball chance now for the Illini. Man, locked, still alive. Passed over, Scott touches it, and the point goes to the Illini.
Yeah, you know, it's a difficult spot for Scott to be in because she's watching the ball. And so what Rose wants of his team is to help her out. Somebody called the ball. There was nobody on that court that was helping her by saying in or out. So that's where communication is vital and where this young team can improve.
That's what we talked about earlier. Russ Rose coming into this match the entire season really has said the communication has to improve for his team. And a service ace for the Illini. Just as the momentum seemed to be in favor of Penn State as they jumped out early in set 4. A couple of big points for the Illini.
Yeah, we'll see if Feldman goes back to Fuller, the freshman. She's a good, consistent passer, but she's struggling here with Feldman's serve.
Freshman defensive specialist out of San Diego, California, Lacey Fuller for Penn State. She is the one they go after. He will send it back over, but it's long and out of play, and the Illini even set 4 at 3.
And that's good communication on Illinois' side of the court. With Beltran going for the ball, moving. Her teammate Colleen Ward clearly called it out, so Beltran let it go.
Stop. First hand over to Barsh. Fuller this time now Hancock. Back to Scott again. Good job on the Illini block to keep that one up. Now Johnson. Whitney, another freshman, puts it away on again. Ayana Whitney.
Yep. That's something we haven't seen before. Her on the right side. Take a look at this shot. That intense look in her eyes after she gets the kill. Now she's taking some instruction from Russ Rose.
We talked about it before. All 5 freshmen involved for the Nittany Lions in this match. Of course, 13 of 17 players on this team are underclassmen for the Nittany Lions. And ace by the freshman, Dominique Gonzalez puts Penn State on top.
Yeah, serving tough and serving seam is real critical. It causes that communication gap between players. So one player needs to pop it early and take control of Beltran.
Hancock able to read the slide play. Now Scott, she hits it off the hand of Feldman. Penn State in rhythm now.
She's having a big time night tonight. Hitting over top of the block, and when you play her defensively, you've got to play deep angles. Watch this perfect set.
And here, though, on the Nittany Lions. Ariel Scott, though, 20 kills in the match so far. Continues to look to her. The Illini just don't have an answer. They've been able to get good touches off of her, but when they go back to Scott, she eventually puts it away on a couple of chances. Longo able to receive that one. McClendon now tools the block for the point.
It's nice to see McClendon getting her share of kills tonight as she feels a lot of pressure.
Yeah, McClendon has struggled a little bit tonight with the hitting errors. 9 kills on 7 errors. Of course, when you're the focal point for every defense coming in, it makes it very difficult to get your numbers. Ward sends it long and out of play. No touch on Penn State. Kevin Hamley wants to talk it over. He sees this one getting away from his team in set number 4. They're only down by 4 points, but Penn State has had all the momentum.
You're absolutely right. It's so important to stop a team that's getting momentum, and if you can't get the side out, boy, it's a coach's job to call a timeout and regroup the troops.
Audrey, we've talked about the underclassmen often now for Penn State tonight, but you look at it, their senior leaders, or their leaders overall, are captains that actually aren't on the floor. How does that work for a team not having your leaders actually out there and having to cheer the team on from the bench?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult position to be in, and I think somebody on the court needs to emerge as the leader, and I think right now it's Scott. So you may be wearing the captain on your shirt, making sure everybody's, you know, at the bus on time and things like that. All the freshmen have a right to practice, but really it's what you do on the court that matters, and it's unfortunate that some of the captains aren't out there, but when you've got players you know, in the freshman, sophomore years that are better, then they're the ones that are going to play. They're the ones that are getting it done right now for Penn State.
Russ Rhodes never misses words. He always goes with his team and says which player is the best is the one who's going to be out there on the floor, whether you're a captain or not. But for Kevin Hambley and the Illini, they're 16-0 undefeated this season, the last unbeaten team in the nation. So much on the line for them. They realize it's still early in the Big Ten season, but dropping this match would take a little bit away from that streak they put together.
Yeah, you know, and I'm sure Hambley has a lot of confidence in his players that they will rebound. In fact, he said one of the keys for his team is to be patient, to extend the rallies. He believes that if this happens, his team might have an advantage. Right now, Penn State giving them everything that they can handle right now, and that serve by Hancock is not making the task easy for Illinois.
Coach Hambley said Penn State will not beat themselves. We have to come out and beat the Nittany Lions. There's no way for Illinois to hope that mistakes happen on Penn State's side. When you come to Happy Valley, you have to find a way to beat this team. Slate in the middle. Great dive by the Illini. Ward with a tap. Hancock able to get to it. Scott. Not going to get the kill that time. Jackie Ward is there. Once again by Ward. Great diving save by Hancock. Now it's McClendon. Both sides with tremendous defensive efforts. Hancock, Scott, get another kill for Ariel Scott.
I'm speechless because we were just able to witness some great defensive plays, great gets. I like how Penn State releases in their defensive position to play the tips, and then who is it that finishes it off, Mike?
Ariel Scott once again.
Yeah.
2 kills off that career high she set earlier this season at Nebraska. She has really stepped up on the big stage. Ward able to put one down.
That was a nice shot by Ward in between the 2 backcourt defenders in that left back area of the court.
Colleen Ward with another double-double tonight. That's the 11th of the season for her. I'm sure she cares more, though, about getting the victory than having another stat in her column. 14 kills and 13 digs thus far for Colleen Ward.
Right, and she seems so confident. Again, she's a senior, so she's been through a lot, and she knows that she's going to get blocked occasionally. She may get dug occasionally, but being steady and keeping your team within striking distance to win a set is so important. So I like the confidence that she shows out on the court.
Back set to Slay. Ward able to read it.
We call that being schooled. McMahon thinking that she had this overpass kill. Take a look at this. She's ready to celebrate. And then Deja, good job moving her feet to get to the point of attack.
McClendon may not be having the best night offensively, but she stepped up with some key plays, that one being a great example. 10-6 lead in set 4 for Penn State. Tough serve there. Now Hancock on 2. Should get the kill. Left-handed serve for the Nittany Lions. She can put quite a powerful swing on it.
Yeah, that kid's a hammer, boy. I'm telling you what a fantastic freshman she is. A solid contributor. Take a look at this again. She's off the net. Just rips it. Lots of top spin. Beautiful placement.
Almost didn't come and play for the Nittany Lions. Was planning to go to Tulsa before they changed coaches. Ward able, though, again, they continue to go to Colleen Ward when they need a point.
And that's what you want from your senior outside hitter. We featured her in the Open. She plays with a ton of confidence, very well respected in this conference. She gets the job done. I'll tell you what, she needs to serve tough here and get Penn State out of the system.
Ward transferred from Florida prior to last season. Joined the Illini and immediately made an impact. Second team All-American a season ago for Colleen Ward. Good serve, and Ali Longo able to receive it. Whitney this time. Bunch into the tape. Now Slay at the net. Longo able to dig it up. Now it's Whitney who puts it on.
Nice coverage by Penn State. They're hanging tough, playing well as a unit. Then a really good shot. Oh, look at that defensive play, but here's the shot I'm talking about. deep top spin right in that left back corner of Illinois' defense.
Audrey Russ Rose talked to us and said he had not thought that the freshman had reached that level yet, that it hadn't clicked for his freshman class yet this season. Maybe this is the first signs of them being on the same page as their head coach.
Well, I think so. We're seeing a different team than we saw a few weeks ago, and we expected that. And so for all the Penn State fans out there, you got to love when you see the freshmen raising their level of play and getting close to that bar that Russ Rose has set for them. I don't think he's going to say that any of them are there yet, but they're definitely competing, which is what he wants to see.
Beltran to serve to the Illini. Services for Jennifer Beltran. That's exactly what Illinois needed as they try to come back in this one.
Take a look at the serve receive pattern for Penn State, see if they line up the same way, but we're going to see this serve. It's a floater coming right off the net. It's a difficult one for McClendon to get to. Just trickled off the net, slowed the pace down. Had it not hit the net, it probably would have landed in McClendon's lap.
Grant this time puts it down. Leah Grant with another kill tonight. That's number 9.
You know, if you're Illinois, you know that these freshmen are going to have a breakthrough match. You just don't want it to be against you. And right now, Mia Grant is displaying all the talents that she has and why she was part of the #1 recruiting class for Penn State.
Three ball similar by the Illini. Hancock will send it back to Scott. Great up by Larson for Illinois. Allie Longo able to get to it. Not sent over though by Scott. Great effort either way though by Allie Longo.
You know, there are bad errors and then there are good errors. And that hit was obviously not over the net, but the effort was there, the intensity was there, and I think Russ Rose can handle that. Watch this get here by Longo. And that third hit, real difficult to control, but nonetheless they were going for it. And those are the type of errors that you don't mind seeing if you're the head coach.
13-10 lead in set number 4 for Penn State. They lead the match 2-1. Feldman will head back to serve for the Illini. Feldman, one of the seniors on this Illinois squad. She's an emotional leader for this team. She's the defensive specialist who will check in. She plays in every single set for the Illini. She's not the libero, Jennifer Beltran, that for Illinois, but she still does a great job in that back row. And of course, on the match so far, she's come up with 10 digs.
Yeah, she's the anchor in the backcourt there along with Beltran. So a little leading band-aid. She's bleeding. She has a little bit of blood that got taken care of.
Good serve by Feldman. Scott this time. Antenna. She ran into it with the ball, so the point goes to Illinois. They're down by just 2.
Yeah, we often don't mention the DSs. They sometimes go unnoticed, but their contribution is so huge. Not only in their defense, but being responsible for that first contact, the pass is so important. We've talked about that over and over tonight. When you have a nice floater serve like Feldman, that's who that's going to be to.
Scott able to get that kill for Penn State. And take away the service from Feldman. Feldman, her 5th match of the last 7 with double-digit digs for the Illini, so you cannot take anything away from her contribution to this team.
Scott, here we see her on the left side. I like that explosive approach, that fast approach. She takes off with that setter's release on the ball.
Johnson this time on the slide play again. Penn State has not had an answer for her on that slide.
They sure haven't. And she varies her shots. She's so smart. If the block is there, she can see before she hits the ball where the defense is not and just places it in that spot. And then when there's a split block, she just rips it.
Undefeated Illini not going away here. But another kill for Ariel Scott. She's tied a career high at 23.
You know, you're not going to stop Scott. There's no way, but you want to try and slow her down. So at least get a good touch on the block, slow that ball down a little bit. Right now, when the Illinois team is reaching over with the block, she's hitting over top of that. So real hard to defend an athlete like #1A Scott.
Johnson again off that Penn State block. She'll get the point. So Penn State feels like they have the momentum here, but Illinois hanging around, still having a shot in set number 4, down by just 2. Jackie Wolf now in for the Illini serving. Hancock goes to McClendon. There'll be a whistle, a net violation, no double contact on Micah Hancock, so the point goes to Illinois.
Yeah, ball passed just a little too tight to the net. She did her best. Hancock did to control her body and control her hands, but double contact, you don't see that very often from the spectacular setter of Hancock.
So just a 1-point set. And Deja with the kill.
She approaches hard, left hip to the net, drops that thumb on the ball, rips it cross court, and then that celebration afterwards is so cool to see. One of the nicest players that I've ever had the chance to talk to, that's Deja McClendon. So not only can she hammer the ball, she's got a very sweet personality too.
The 2010 National Freshman of the Year, also the National Championship Most Outstanding Player in Deja McClendon. She wants to pull away the number 1 team. She'll get another kill. 11 for Deja McClendon.
And that's what makes her so good. You saw a rip cross court on the previous play. That one's down the line. That's what National Freshman of the Year brings to the court. Just a variety of shots and able to hit them at any time.
Eltran will set to Wood. Kristen Carpenter's there in the back row for Penn State. McClendon again with the tap over. Diving was Feldman. Up by Gonzalez and Waterley able to get to it. Chance now for the Illini. Wood. Stopped at the net. Dorn and Lurson combined to send it back.
And Dorn's veins were popping out of her neck. She said, "Let's go." Look at this block. She clearly knows it's going to the outside, reaches up and over. She looks like a woman possessed there. Look at that focus.
Dorn leads his Illini team in blocks. She won one more with Slade. Can't get that one to go. Beltran. McMahon. Slade able to block it back over. But it's out of play, and the point goes to the Illini.
You know, Lurson doing a really nice job when there is a split in her block. She plays in the seam, and that's exactly where Slade hit the ball, right in the seam of the block, and she was in the critical position to make a good dig. She made it look easy. It's a good example of front court and back court working together defensively.
17-16 in favor of Penn State. Glendon can't get that one to go. Rebound opportunity though. Hancock on 2. Quick shot by Lurson to dig that one out. McMahon. Now middle to Slade. She'll just tap it down the lane, but it's out of play, so we're tied in set 4.
Katie Slade trying to be tricky again. The left side blocker moves in to help the middle blocker. You're going to see it here. Look at all the area of the court that's open. Beltran being very disciplined, able to know exactly where she is on the court. Let's that ball go.
An error, though, by the Illini, and those are the kind of things you cannot see happen when you're trying to come into Happy Valley and pull out a win.
This is rotation 1 for Illinois, and I've seen them do a couple things here with McMahon hitting a 1-ball, Dorn hitting a 31, and Ward on the outside. We'll see if they run that play.
Both sides, service errors, the 2 teams. Very close now over to Whitney. She'll be able to get that one up off the block. They send her again. Now Lurson. Beltran will have to set to McMahon. Over by the Nittany Lions, but out of play. And we're even again in set number 4 at 18.
Yeah, so offensively, Illinois really not trying to trick Penn State at all, but they want to take good swings at the ball. So we're not really seeing any crossing plays or anything like that. They're doing it with their guns on the outside. Simple offense, but effective.
A tight match all season, tight match all day as the crowd gets involved. It's served by Ward. Now Whitney, she gets the kill. Oh, no, it's still up. And this time Hancock will send it over. Whitney again, blocked in the net. The Illini take the lead in set 4.
McMahon and Dorn dominating the net. Take a look at this. Great speed to close. Dorn big hands over the net. Penn State needing to settle things down, calls timeout. Russ Rose does, and he's kind of rallying up his troops right now.
Back and forth we go. The final moments of set number 4 coming up. It could decide the match. Don't go anywhere.
Big Ten Women's Volleyball is presented by Pure Silk Shave Cream. For legs like Pure Silk, try Pure Silk in 7 great fragrances.
Stars on both sides of the net. Ariel Scott for Penn State in set 4 has been fantastic.
You know, we're seeing a lot of her offensive plays, but she also goes hard for balls defensively, which is clearly being a leader out on the floor.
And for the Illini, the reason they're now leading set 4, Colleen Ward.
Yeah, and what a responsibility she has as one of the primary passers. Steady Eddie. I like number 4 on the outside for Illinois.
Colleen Ward will head back to serve for the Illini. That high toss, difficult serve. Very difficult for teams to receive. Hancock goes to Slade. Blocked! Michelle Marsh puts 2 hands on it.
The ball was nicely passed by Allie Longo, but hit into the block by Katie Slade.
To 18 lead now for the Illini. They want to send this to a 5th set. Back row for Scott. Penn. Hancock now goes to Whitney. Great up by Beltran. The Penn State block and a kill for the Illini. They're 4 points away.
Beltran's a special player. Getting that dig. I like how her forearms are under the ball. A spectacular dig by Beltran. And then her team is able to transition out of that dig and get a huge point.
21-18 in favor of the Illini. They're trying to push it to set 5. We'll see if they can. Back in University Park, Pennsylvania, where the defensive effort by the Illini and particularly Jennifer Beltran has been huge in them taking this lead in set 4.
Well, what's it take to be a great libero? Take a look at Beltran. Extending her forearms under the ball, pushing off that back foot, controlling the ball well enough so that the setter can set it, and then allowing for that transition hitter to hit and score for the team. A great defensive play all around by Beltran.
15 digs for Beltran. Ward still serving for the Illini. Penn State in desperate need of a side out. They won't get it. Blocked by McMahon.
Freshman versus freshman. Wow, McMahon, 1-on-1. Didn't have her middle blocker there to help her. Reads the angle of approach, reads the hand, and clearly seals the net so that a cross-court shot was not possible by Ayana Whitney.
Ward doing a tremendous job serving for the Illini. Hancock should go to Scott, who ends the line.
This block was taking tiny steps to Penn State's left side of the court, and then you see the back set, and it goes right to Ace Scott, so somebody needs to realize that she is back there and probably going to get the set at a crucial point.
New career high for Ariel Scott, but it's over the 2 points away from sending this to set number 5.
Dorn making herself available here. A smart choice by Illinois setter Anna Lerson to pump a ball in the middle of the court. Dorn only saw 1 block in front of her and scores.
Beltran with a service there, and Penn State trying to pump themselves up in set 4. They have the right player heading back to go to serve. Hancock, we saw her go on that run earlier in this match. She has 6 service aces so far. They'll give her 1 more. So a new career high for Micah State within 2.
Yep. And what makes it so difficult is, like I said before, that ball curves. And as it curves, the passers move to their left. You got to try and get around the ball. But as their arms are outside of their body, the ball ricochets off their arms and goes out of bounds. So what they need to do, mentioned it before, is angle their platform so that the ball goes back into the court. It's so difficult to do, obviously, because the ball's coming at such a ferocious velocity. It comes at them so fast. We'll take a look at it again if we can.
7 service aces for Hancock. One more look.
See how Illinois' player is taking those shuffle steps to the left side, and that ball just keeps on sailing to the left because that's the way the ball's momentum is going and the player's momentum is going. So you've got to stop your feet and angle your platforms to target.
Micah Hancock, second in the nation in service aces this season. She'll have another opportunity here, and these Penn State fans want to see her lead the Nittany Lions to a 7-4 victory and the match.
Boy, if it were me, I would say that there's some sweat on the floor. I'd make her think about this one a little bit. I'd tie my shoe. I'd be trying every trick in the book right now. That's
in the middle, and it's set point for Illinois.
Well, Beltran is money on the pass. Not only does she get the ball up, but it goes right into the setter's box. Beautiful one-ball attack.
10 kills now for Erin Johnson, hitting .409 in this match. She's really stepped up when they needed her. Illinois wants to set it to set 5. Feldman with the serve. Scott. Stop again. To a decisive set between the Illini and the Nittany Lions.
And Russ is yelling double contact. He doesn't get the call. I've never seen a referee change the call after they make it, but certainly both of these coaches are questioning some of the calls being called tonight.
So another match in the Big Ten season goes to set number 5. Russ Rose unhappy with the call. As we get a look here again, it's set point for the Illini.
The ball gets pumped to the outside and clearly hit long there, but there was a couple plays earlier to that on Illinois' side that Russ Rose is saying was a double contact.
Don't go anywhere. Set number 5 between the Illini and the Nittany Lions. It's a nail-biter from Happy Valley. After 2 sets as we head to set number 5 in University Park, Pennsylvania. The Illini took set 4, 25-21, and the number 1 team in the nation has a chance to keep their undefeated season alive. Set number 5, you really look to the very beginning of this set because whoever comes out with that early charge usually takes it.
Yeah, 15 points comes at you pretty quickly, so you really want to come out strong and set a tone. Tell you what, Erin Johnson getting very active in this match. 10 kills so far, hitting 40%. Again, both coaches really want to see their servers take some risk from the end line. You're going to see Hancock serving first for Penn State. Their spectacular server who's gotten it done.
And don't forget, on Wednesday night, Hancock served the first 4 points against Northwestern for Penn State. She had 2 service aces in that span. One of the big reasons they were able to come out and beat the Wildcats on their home floor. Are loose out there. They're enjoying this one. We like the energy of their team and happy to be sending it to set 5. Play to 15, switch sides when the first team gets to 8 points. Mercy to Johnson on that slide. Longo able to get there. Now Whitney. Bush. Ford was there in the back row. Stop that back set. Back over by the Illini block. Double contact call on Allie Longo, and the Nittany Lions can't believe it. First point goes to Illinois.
Russ Rose is saying, why didn't you call that in the fourth set? Exactly the same as this setter did right now.
So the Illini not only get the first point, but they get the service away from Micah Hancock.
So important because she can go on a roll as we have seen.
Marsh with a good serve. Hancock in the middle of the net for a mid kill.
I think Hancock is starting to get a feel of what the blockers are doing. I think it was a great choice for her to set Nia Grant there. Nia Grant is available to hit the ball, and here you see Illinois' block not looking too crisp there. Colleen Ward was actually with her one hip to the net, so not in perfect loaded position as Handley would like to see.
3 different players in double figures. Johnson, though, gets the kill for both teams. Johnson being one of them. 11 kills now for Aaron Johnson.
Yeah, she's coming up big for her team. Exactly what she needs to do. I like the way Annie Lursen is taking some risks. Even if the ball is taking her off the net, Lursen is able to get her feet to the ball. She's so quick-footed and puts up a nice slide attack low to the antenna.
Wolf with the serve for the Illini. Hancock over to McClendon. Marsh able to get to it in the back row. Lursen sends it to Marsh out of that back row. Great dig by Longo. Now Scott, she's blocked in the net. Doran sends it back for the Illini.
What a dig on Penn State's side of the net. That was a heater from Illinois. You're going to see this block. These girls' heads are almost over the net. You see how physical they are. And there's Dorn talking it up, looking at her hitter. She's ready to go, loaded, ready for another block.
A career-high 10 blocks for Anna Dorn in this match. Make it 11! 4-1 lead in set 5 for the Illini.
Look at that block. They're synchronized, hip to hip. A great wall of China being formed. Handley liking what he sees so far.
15 blocks for the Illini to just 11.5 for Penn State. Hancock goes to Scott again. Off the touch of the Illini. Penn State gets another point. Rec Hall on the campus of Penn State University, where we've got a great match between 2 top 10 teams, the Illini and the Nittany Lions. Mike Ward alongside Audrey Flaw. Audrey, we've seen some great play on both sides of the net. No surprise when you have 2 teams atop the standings in the Big Ten squaring up. Doing in the middle now, just for a high tap. Hancock should go over the play in between the block and the kill.
Clemens had a quiet evening, but she is all smiles. She doesn't care. She wants to get some sets here in this 5th set and do what her team expects her to do, and that's what you saw right there. We got big kills on the outside. I'm just giggling because it's such good volleyball. It's such a treat to be here. They're just displaying their talents both individually, the athleticism that these girls have, but their talent as a team, working as a team, sticking with it. Great 5th set we're seeing.
Trading points, trading runs here in the 5th set. Scott again. She'll get one more. 26 kills for Harriet Scott.
Unbelievable numbers for that kid. Just keep pumping her the ball. Illinois really hasn't found a way to stop her. She's so even killed.
Penn State is down 4-1. They now lead at 5-4. Gonzalez able to save the corner. Scott, kill. Just when you thought Ariel Scott had done it all, she continues to add more for Penn State.
Dominique Gonzalez, what a great save she made. Sprung into the bench. And then again, Scott finishing it off, but the defense for Penn State on that play was incredible. That was a freshman, by the way, Dominique Gonzalez.
Penn State up 6-4 in set number 5, but the Illini are not going anywhere. Great finish in Happy Valley. Wednesday, conference powers collide when top-ranked Illinois hosts 18th-ranked Michigan. Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, presented by Pure Silk on BTN. The Illini are hoping to get out of here, though, with a win before Wednesday night's match. Ariel Scott, though, not making it easy for them.
Boy, I'm telling you, her numbers are huge. I don't know that there's been any other Penn State hitter to get as many kills in a match as we're seeing Scott do tonight. She is feeling it. She's got her mojo on. And other teams need to look out because Illinois has not found a way to slow her down.
Larson will go to Ward. Grant's able to dig that one up. Now it's to McClendon. Beltran with a great dive. Now a free ball opportunity. Penn State with a chance, but they're out of system. McClendon into the block of the Illini. It's Scott this time. Bush puts a hand on it. Larson. Now McClendon. Oh, was stuck by Anna Dorn. Her career night continues.
Yeah, Dorn really doing a nice job of showing us how a middle blocker should move. Quick feet, swinging her arms, landing perfectly. Hip to hip with the outside. Look at her taking a look at where Scott is, where McClendon is.
Larson overpass, but miscommunication still alive, though. Slam on the overpass, gets the kill.
I remember Slay doing that last year for the national championship. Do you remember that play? She got the overpass kill.
Yeah, I think the Nittany Lions fans remember that one pretty well on the final point. Looked very similar.
It did.
7-5 lead for Penn State in set number 5. They took sets 1 and set 3. The Illini set 2 and 4.
Carpenter in the backcourt serving for Illinois.
Middle to Dorn, who gets a kill not only defensively but offensively for Anna Dorn.
Yeah, sneaky little hitter that Dorn is. You don't really think she's going to get the ball, but when she is given the opportunity, she comes through for her team.
That short freshman who played behind Johanna Banger, who's the all-time leader in blocks for the Illini, getting her chance this season, leads the team in blocks overall and tonight. Slay this time, taps it over. Beltran is there. Now McMahon off the Penn State block, and we're even at 7.
Well, Slay has tipped the last few times on the play, and Illinois talked about that. The blockers were looking to the backcourt defense and saying, hey, watch the tip on Slay. If she runs the slide, that's perfect communication. Nicely done.
As the match has worn on, we've just seen better and better volleyball on both sides of the net.
Yeah, this will go down in Big Ten history as one of the all-time great matches.
Hancock goes to McClendon. Bush off the block. Gonzalez with a fist gets that one up. Larson with the back set to McMahon. Longo saves it, but it's out into the crowd, and the point goes to the Illini in reaching 8-7 lead for Illinois.
Yeah, McClendon can't buy a kill right now. They've got their block and the defense lined up against her, so they're really focused on her on the left side, and she hasn't been able to come through with the kill, not lately anyway.
An 8-7 lead for the Illini in set number 5. An epic battle coming down the stretch. Both teams want this one. And of course, you have to think about the last time these two teams met in this building. Penn State swept Illinois, of course, last season in Hall. It was a 5-set victory for the Illini that ended Penn State's 65-match Big Ten winning streak. Illinois hoping to end the 68 Big Ten Conference home match winning streak. Undefeated on the year, 3-0 against ranked teams, but this by far the toughest challenge Illinois has seen this year.
Absolutely. So how do you close out a close match like this one? Well, you got to reset your focus. This is truly anybody's match. Have to stay aggressive and stay in system on your side of the net.
All the fans on their feet for set 5, and happy now. Scott, blocked by Dorn.
You know, I was going to mention you've got to know what your opponents are doing if you want to beat a team in a close match like this one. And Dorn clearly is banking on Scott, staying with her, and really does a great job of getting that critical point for her team.
13 blocks for Anna Dorn. Illinois looking to take set 5. The Redshirt freshman Anna Dorn for the Illini, 5 kills on 556 hitting, but 13 blocks, a career high for her on the biggest stage.
Yeah, this is an incredible moment for this young lady. And I can see her eyes looking at who the hitters are, talking. She's ready to move in either direction, but right now she's got Deja on the left side, Slay in the middle, and Scott is back court. So she's going to stay put to see if they set Scott in the back court. Weren't so successful the last time, and see if they go to their big hitter.
Hancock goes to Slay. Slay gets the kill. Ward was there, but overran it just a bit.
I know she was aggressive, moving her feet. Ward was. Take a look at this nice risky set. It paid off that time. Slay pushing it deep in the corner, and like you said, Ward was moving her feet, trying to track that ball down. Really wasn't in a good position. That ball came right at her.
We say it all the time that every point is vital, but even more so right now. 9-8 for Illinois in set 5. They're 6 points away from taking the match and earning their first win over Penn State in Happy Valley since 1995. Bush, great dig by Scott. It'll be a free ball chance for the Illini. Listen to McMahon. Fuller with it up. Scott with a hit.
She has been spectacular, and I know she's just so mad at herself for hitting that low ball. Right in the middle of the net. That's disappointing, considering the match that she's had. I know she's got to just erase that one and think of how talented she is and that she needs to be the go-to hitter.
Beltran with a service ace for the Illini. 4 points away from taking the match.
This is where the serve and the pass game is so important. Russ Rose knowing that Beltran is such a good server and will serve the seams of Penn State's passing lineup. So he wants to regroup.
Trying to regroup for the Nittany Lions. They trail it by 3. They won a 5-set match in this building against USC earlier this year. They defeated Northwestern on Wednesday night. They have been able to pull out a couple of 5-setters at home. For the Illini, they're 4-0 on the year, as we saw in 5-set matches. But Penn State, they have struggled in the 5-setters this year. They need to put together something, but if Anna Dorn is playing as well as she has, it's going to be very tough for them to pull this one out.
Yeah, Dorn has got great blocking instincts. You know, she's fast with her feet, and then you see that she's moving her arms in swing blocks, but when she is up in the air on that block, she penetrates so well. And I like that she's getting involved in the offense. Clearly, if she's one-on-one, she will score for her team. So what an impact she has had for Illinois tonight.
68-match Big Ten Conference home winning streak in jeopardy as the Illini are eyeing a victory. Kevin Hamlet and his undefeated #1 ranked team in the driver's seat with Beltran serving.
We talked about closing out a close one. You got to take care of your side of the net. You got to know your opponents. Most important thing, I think you got to be mentally sharp and execute your little job out on the court. That is key. Everybody has a role. Execute your role for your team.
Changes for Penn State. Fuller comes out. McClendon back in. Beltran had the service ace. Hancock goes to Slay. She'll put it down. Rolled off the tape and found the floor. So now Allie Longo will head back for Penn State, down by 2 in set number 5. She's not Micah Hancock, but she's still second on this team with service aces. She puts up a good one. And it'll be a 3-ball chance for Penn State. Hancock goes up 2, gets the point.
Yeah, Illinois giving a free ball to Penn State.
11-10 lead for the Illini. We talked about it earlier. Micah Hancock heavily involved in this one. The Aces running this off. First ace. And they need it.
telling you what, this is an amazing match. We are seeing top servers just taking some risks and letting it fly. Again, when you have your feet moving in one direction, you've got to be extra disciplined with your platform. Now they're going hard to Colleen Ward on the serve, so we'll see if she backs out of the serve-receive lineup. Someone comes in and takes over that spot for her. Their teams do pass two passers sometimes, and it makes it difficult if the ball's coming at you fast, like a topspin, but a floater, if you're able to have confidence and feel that you can move your feet and get behind the ball, then I think that's an option for Illinois. If the other two passers feel confident, they should go with two right now.
Both teams 4 points away, but they can continue to go back and forth, maybe go to extra points, but who are you looking for to come up for both teams in the final few points of set 5?
I think Scott has been stellar all match. I think she's going to come on strong here in the end. I think Dorn, if she rotates to the front court, I think she could have some key blocks for her team. So right now, those two players come to mind. Unfortunately, Dorn is off the court, but you do have number 12, Erin Johnson, the other middle, who's been doing a nice job hitting slides. So we'll just see who emerges as the go-to player, who is the star of the show, because it really could be anybody at this point.
It's a 4-point match, and Penn State has the service, which has been so crucial tonight. Nelson, she'll go to push. Hancock has to run this one down. Whitney sends it in.
The other thing, the key component to winning a close one is eliminate those unforced errors. Hits like that are sailing wide. Boy, you just don't want to do that at this point in the match. You got to know what shot you can hit and then execute it.
This time long, no touch. Whitney wanted the call, she won't get it. So another hitting error on the Nittany Lions, and 2 points away now for Illinois.
All right, Nia Grant in front row. That's that middle freshman player that was getting the job done. We'll see if Hancock goes to her.
Tough pass, still up, Johnson there. Whistle called on the ball in the antenna, so the point goes to Penn State.
I think that was a good call. As much as Illinois may hate to admit it, the ball did trickle down on their side of the net and hit the antenna, which right there is out of bounds.
That's barely hooked it, and it's Hancock serving again. Wilson will send it back over. Longo goes to Scott. She's been fantastic. Ariel Scott with the air, and the Illini have match point.
Sometimes you look back at a match and see where the opportunity is lost. It could have been that play. We'll see how it all plays out. But the thing that happens in this is that Hancock is no longer the server. So
Tough pass for Penn State. Double contact, the Illini bust up another Penn State streak. Illinois earns their first win at Penn State since 1995 and stay unbeaten.
well, congratulations to Amber and his coaching staff. But Penn State showing that despite having a young team, they are a good team. They were really in it neck and neck until the last 3 or 4 points of this fifth set. Unbelievable showing by Penn State despite the loss tonight.
First win in Rec Hall since November 24th, 1995, when Coach Hamlin's wife Mary was on the team for the Illini. Huge win for Illinois. They continue to build on the season. Anna Dorn, our performance of the match brought to you by Pure Silk. Anna Dorn earns the honor after a standout night. A career-high 13 blocks for Anna Dorn, also several key kills, and they have another great threat in the middle for the Illini.
Yeah, it's pretty scary when somebody like Anna Dorn, somebody that we were talking about very often, comes through big at the end. That's what spectacular players do. They relish in the moment, and they come through for their team, and that was Dorn tonight.
A match match for the ages as the Illini take it in 5 sets over the Penn State Nittany Lions. The #1 team in the nation, able to stay unbeaten after a tremendous night that went back and forth between both teams.